This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 435 for the week of Monday, September 12th, 2016. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
On today's show, we are going to be live from Matsuricon. Are you excited, Ed, to go to Matsuricon?
Woo! Yeah!
Okay, chill out. It's not that
The crowd
exciting.
goes wild.
The crowd of everyone else who's in the room with us right now.
Crowd of mostly just me. I was so excited to go to Matsuricon.
This was such a fun convention, and I'm really happy that the audio really worked for all of our panels, and it's going to sound nice for everyone.
It's like, what's the name of that doodad you use?
The Zoom microphone.
Yeah.
So for those looking for, a portable way to go around conventions with that. So before we get into the show, I want to remind everyone that you can subscribe and get some really cool stuff, including an exclusive episode on Patreon that we did last week with Roger from Roger's Base and YouTube, and Steve and Steven and Sam and you and me.
That's right.
And that's available exclusively on Patreon at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. We also have merch available, and there was a question about that in this panel. You could find that on our shop. It's at the top of our website, OnePiecePodcast.com. Really cool stuff from Redbubble, so check that out. And on this episode, we don't have a manga recap, so we figured we'd go through a little bit of our One Piece Podcast panel.
A little bit. I think all of it.
All of it. I think it's around 90 minutes here, and we get a lot of questions. They're mostly questions from the audience. A few guests drop by to wish us luck.
It's really not that different from a call-in show or a extended piece together, but we did it live in person.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it was really cool. There's some really cool stuff that comes out of it, and you get to hear some of the amazing prizes we had, and they are weird prizes, some of them. So if you want to hear what those are, you should listen. And on this episode, we're going to have Steve. We're going to have, I'm trying to remember who was there. Bryan Newton, the animation director for Rick and Morty, joined us. Jill, our editorial writer, was there. Sam, our anime recap host and editorial writer for ANN and for us. Missing people already. The three of
Alex,
us, Steve,
yeah.
Ed, and myself, and Alex, of course, who I think is now officially a host as of this episode, so you'll get to enjoy his first hosting gig, which is exactly the same as really what we do anyway, except you say your name at the front. So you can enjoy that. Am I missing anyone? We had 7 people, and I feel like I did not name 7. But
Huntress Fan makes an appearance.
Huntress Fan makes an appearance, and there's other guest appearances. There'll be a surprise. You'll get to listen. So that's going to be on this episode. Next week, we return to our normally scheduled manga recap. And we'll stop by in the middle of the show to wish us luck, I guess, also. We've got a couple other little things in the show as well. So without further ado, why don't we get into things, Ed? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the One Piece Podcast panel at Matsuricon. My name is Zach.
And my name is Ed.
And
my name is Steve.
And welcome, everyone. Oh, yeah.
And my name is Alex.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Thank you all for coming. Welcome to the One Piece convention of the Midwest.
We're here to celebrate the ending of Bleach.
Or as we will know it forever to be, Muppet Babies. If you read the chapter, you'd get it.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest One Piece news. And for those who don't know what One Piece is, we did a 101 panel yesterday going through that. But are you all caught up? Anyone here who's not caught up? Good. Okay. So, well, we'll get into some more spoilerific territory. Wow, you just started out with that. Okay.
That used to be our thing for a while, to just make sure it's like, oh, hey, everyone's caught up, right? Because we're about to spoil people.
So
that was my way to clear out the room.
So we have a varied crew here that I'd like to introduce. First, starting from the left to right, we have Jill, our editorial writer.
Hi, everyone. Really happy to be here.
We have the animation director for Rick and Morty, Bryan Newton.
Hey, all.
Surprise guest there. And we have from Anime News Network and our website, our anime recap host, we have Sam.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So we have our panel's too big for this table, but we'll get through it.
I'm too big for this.
So for those who don't know who we are the One Piece Podcast. Every Monday, we go through the latest manga chapter, the latest anime episode, the latest news sometimes, and we take your questions, comments, theories. We do all that every week. And it usually takes under 3 hours.
Usually, if it's over 3 hours, you know it's good.
Yeah, exactly. But there's enough to talk about One Piece every week for that long.
I was going to say don't start with the 3 hours thing, but then again, we're all One Piece fans. We have a lot of patience. So we're all reading a manga that's over 800 chapters. So I think everyone's like, yeah, a One Piece podcast being minimum 3 hours, that makes sense.
So we're doing a lot of cool stuff at this convention. As I mentioned, we did our kind of introduction to One Piece. We'll have all of these online also later, hopefully, if everything works out well. So make sure to check that out. We're going to, right after this, if everyone here wants to run with us, we're going to be going to the Funimation One Piece Unplugged panel. We'll talk about that a little more at the end, just in case we don't have time, though. And these are some pictures of us here, too.
Greg.
So the big news, and we have a lot of prizes related to that here, and I think everyone probably will get a prize here because not a huge crew, but we have just too many prizes. And that's One Piece Film Gold. Do any of you guys want to talk about how excited you were to see this, or no?
Well, when we actually get the
Okay, you want to watch the trailer first? Okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm excited and ready, Zach.
So none of us have yet seen it, but it is coming out in all of these countries. The United States included, though there's no information as to when that will be happening, and we reached out to Funimation for comment, and they didn't have any comment.
Well, I mean, but so far, of all the people we know who are in Japan and have seen the movie, reviews have been like uniformly positive.
Yeah, it's been, especially the first part of it, from what I've heard. I mean, we have like 4 or 5 reviews written on the site for it too, from our many people out there in Japan, all saying it was very good and exciting.
Well, I think it goes without saying, ever since Strong World came out, the quality of One Piece films has really gone up because Oda's involvement. I don't know how involved he is with Gold.
He's the executive producer.
His executive producer.
Some character designs, right? He did.
Oh, yeah, he
most
does
of
the
them,
character
or all
designs.
of them?
He does like primarily most of the character designs for any sort of like movie, even when he wasn't executive producing them.
Well, ever since they kind of like scaled back, like, hey, let's wait every like few years, and we'll make a movie. They've been so much better. I mean, Strong World, Film Zed, and I guess apparently Film Gold's pretty good. So far so good. But I really don't know anything about it because we really didn't do like a podcast episode dedicated to it with Greg.
Not yet.
So I don't really know a single thing about this movie.
I read the reviews that we have on the site, so that's as much as I know.
The exciting part about it is I don't want to. I mean, personally, I don't want to find out too much about the plot because it's apparently coming out in theaters in America somehow.
That's what they say. I mean,
We're in America.
so that's perfect.
That narrows it down.
By the way, if you guys have any questions throughout, raise your hand and you could come up and we'll answer or comments or whatever they may be. Anything else about Film Gold? The soundtrack, I mean, that's come out and that is amazing.
It's super great. I mean, we'll talk about it on the podcast.
I was playing it when people were walking in earlier.
Yeah, they also heard it in the trailer too.
And it was in the trailer, the same exact song. But,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's great. It's very atypical for a One Piece soundtrack. It's not. It's composed completely by somebody else. It's the first One Piece movie that's not composed by Koei Tanaka. So that's.
And it probably won't appear in the anime, you said, because it was owned by...
I read that on Arlong Park forums, which is to be taken with an extreme grain of salt.
Do you want to move on to the next topic?
Let's move on.
Unless Bryan, Sam, Jill. Okay.
Dude does have the authority now.
So since we're here, the Funimation crew's here. There's a new season 8.
Starring that guy.
Starring this guy.
Who the hell's that
Steve,
guy?
are you playing this guy?
That's
NBA.
That's Schlubby McBeardo. He's a Marine Vice Admiral, and he likes croquet.
So let's watch about Schlubby McBeardo.
Oh, I'm Shelby McBeardo. Oh, I was close. And everything was resolved, and everyone went
Everyone happily ever after.
I wonder how these One Piece boys are going to get out of this mess.
So that one's actually for Season 8, Voyage 3, which comes out in September. Voyage 4 was just announced, and that is Luffy's backstory, which came, 8 seasons in. And that's coming out in November, I think November 8th.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were talking about this on the podcast when the manga was coming out back in 2010, and here we are, dubbed. It's out. It's kind of crazy.
We did it, guys. We did it.
We did it. Now we could stop. We're done.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that Ace merchandise that came out around that time with the tropical pink bag.
Yeah, you mean what was it?
Start living before you start dying, or
Right,
something
that
like
was
that.
it. Yeah.
This is before even Funimation picked up the license, correct?
No.
No, that was in 2007.
This is after.
Okay,
they picked
so
up in 07.
So it just took forever to finally.
Well,
get to the
there's a
war.
lot of episodes. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
It's like
It's actually really remarkable to think about Funimation having the license for One Piece for 10 years now. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the 4Kids days are way in the back.
and the series will be 20 years old next year. So that means Funimation would have had it for half of the
That's
franchise.
right.
Well, not the anime.
Started in Jump in 97, started on TV in 99.
Now, I've just been including this in panels because I love this trailer so much. Burning Blood is a video game that's out on PS4, PS Vita.
I think it's coming out on Steam, too.
Yeah, I think Steam, Xbox One maybe as well. I've seen it in stores.
Nobody owns an Xbox One, so...
I'm sorry. God, you're...
Well, definitely not in Japan, they don't own one.
Well, yeah, that might be true. But you could actually play with the voice of Crocodile later today at this convention.
John Swasey.
John Swasey. Play. Oh, you mean get dehydrated? Yeah. Okay. Well, this is a trailer I love for Burning Blood. Yeah, those are the real graphics in that. That's Steve mentioned.
I must say, I didn't know what to think at first, but Spider-Man: Homecoming looks pretty good.
I was about to say, I'm loving this new Pokemon game. I'm going with the Sand Legendary, I think.
When are they going to come out with a One Piece Go? That's what.
How would that work?
I don't
Zach?
even know how
you
that
don't
would work.
understand Pokemon.
No, I don't.
You don't.
They did a really interesting thing with Pikachu's ears this time around. Instead of they're all long and floppy.
God, that's disturbing.
Well, if that was
So there's actually a lot more characters than just those two. Like,
Oh, no,
basically
it's-
every
it's
character
got
in One
like,
Piece you could play
It's
as.
got like a 50 character roster. It's pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
I
crazy.
should have probably put that there since I put the long
Some
list of
DLC
theaters.
coming in.
There's Bin DLC, and there's I think they're adding Caesar, Lucci, and Garp. So that's fun.
Aren't they incorporating some film gold in there too?
Yeah, Tesoro as a character as well. Mm-hmm. And some film gold costumes.
Yeah.
Let's move
For
on.
the
Like
Straw
the-
Hat
I want to talk about Zoe because we are getting there in the anime this week. Sam, correct? Yes. Okay.
Hopefully, Sam is a little more optimistic going into this episode.
Yeah, Sam, what I want to
being on the episode with you when you just kind of broke. It was.
That was a fun episode to record.
So yeah, Sam's Ed and I used to do the anime recaps.
We're grizzled vets. We're
And
getting through that
we got a
anime.
little like, okay, we read the manga. Where are we gonna? But Sam is an optimistic, young, spry anime fan.
We thought it'd be good. Like, you know what? We should have someone else kind of take the helm on the anime recap because I think we're getting too negative. We always talk about the same. We have the same complaints on the anime. Let's pass on to someone who is a little more optimistic, and that lasted about.
So
like, a
Sam,
month.
are you optimistic about the Zoark?
Generally, I'm pretty optimistic. Yeah, I mean, that episode, like 2 episodes ago, which if you want to listen to that episode, I just kind of have a moment live on the podcast. But
yeah, you did.
generally, when you have like a butt episode like that, it usually means that there's good episodes coming up. So
A butt episode. That's
Usually,
good. That's
I
good
fi-
PG censorship.
I find
there.
the trend to be with the animes normally like the beginning of an arc and like the ending of the arc. Directed very well, some really good animation. It's always everything else that kind of falls apart. But I don't know. Dressrosa had some really wonky episodes at the end.
And there's not really a middle to Zoe. It's so short. So hopefully it'll all be great.
Yeah, so look forward to that ending in another year.
There's the poster for it. Those are the colors that we are going to be seeing in Zoe. I mean, there's Raizo in the back.
Oh, wow. Red.
Everyone's favorite. Here, I think I could
Yeah,
zoom
zoom
in
in.
a little. Yeah, there we go.
There he is.
I mean, do we have some favorite characters here? Sam, what's your favorite Zoe character? I could only guess who your favorite Zoe character. Wait, I think it's probably this bunny over here.
This is pretty well documented at this point, I think. Although she doesn't, I didn't really. It's when we see her on the Sunny for the first time. It's ready for adventure carrot that I really like.
Brian, who's your favorite Zoe character?
Of course, the big boss cat, Cat Viper.
Cat Viper.
Yeah.
Nekomamushi. Do you know that song? Dude?
Nekomamushi no danani.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
So, Cat Viper. The origin of Cat Viper was actually from a song that Cho, Brooks' voice actor, just sort of improvised a few years back that Oda kind of loved. It's Going to See Master Cat Viper is the name of the song. You can find it on YouTube. It's actually kind of a cute song.
It's pretty easy to find. I think you just search Nekomamushi. Well, now maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, you can still.
My
find
theory on Nekomamushi.
it. Yeah.
You have to really go through all that stuff.
But yeah, so Oda liked that, and he ended up putting Nekomamushi, aka Cat Viper, into the story, and Brooke sings that song on the way to when they're going to see Cat Viper, and I guess we'll see that in the animation.
So did Cho just kind of invent like the concept of Cat Viper?
Like,
what is that like?
Who knows, man?
Did he just put some words together? And
like what do we do? We just kind of make stuff off the cuff. And
Yeah,
invent.
we make up stuff like homies. I mean,
No, we didn't make
sense.
that one. Actually, that
No,
wasn't
yeah.
us.
Yeah, Oda beat us to the
We
punch
come up
on
with
that
like
one.
the putties, the schmucks. You know, that's all
Toad
us.
Goats.
God, PG
Toad
goats.
The dude bros, yeah.
The dude bros.
Card sharks, like
Card
Card sharks.
For those who
I
don't
love
listen
card
to the
sharks.
And now we're just
for those who
making-
don't listen to the podcast, what we do whenever like a major arc's villain has like henchmen or whatever, we give them fun little nicknames. Schmucks was Doflamingo's.
Doflamingo's crew.
Like
were
yeah, they're
schmucks.
with the baggy
The
pants.
Toad Goats were the Punk Hazard crew.
Yeah, because they were
looked
goats
like-
and they were his toadies.
They were
So,
toad-
yeah,
okay,
it's a
that was
fun
the reason. You
portmanteau.
made that one up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Not really a portmanteau. It's just the word toad and goat. Which don't you have to like? I'm not going to get
Brilliant
into
observation, Zach.
I'm not getting into semantics, but also cool. There are some figures coming out for Zoe.
Oh yeah, we should. We stopped at me for this favorite character, John. We should probably.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Anyway,
what's
yeah,
your
Cat
favorite
Viper
character?
#1 for me.
Well, it's good. He's up on the screen now.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is your favorite character?
She said,
Oh
"Nah."
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
My mistakes.
It's I don't want to say Cat Viper again, but like it's true. But this I will just say this: the Zoe arc has made me really, really appreciate Capone.
Oh, also, Steve really likes elephants. This is a fun fact about Steve
yeah.
that you may not know.
I love elephants.
He loves elephants.
How much do I love elephants?
You love them so much that the size of an elephant couldn't possibly contain your love for them.
oh my God. Okay.
Not even the size of Zoe.
Ed, what's your favorite character in Zoe?
Well, at this point, we've all said Cat Viper, but I love how Jack is this ridiculous villain for the whole arc.
Jack's really good.
Jack is the Brock Lesnar of the One Piece universe.
Well, I think I know the answer to this by a ferocious round of applause. Who here is a Cat Viper person? Anyone? That was definitely ferocious. And who here is a Dog Storm person? Yeah, there we go.
Those are the same people.
That's like how we choose our president. Ohio.
Ooh, okay, let's keep moving on. One Piece.
Hi,
volume,
hello, I'm awake now.
One Piece Volume 82 is out in Japan. It won't be out here in America for a little bit. And we are going to Totland. And this is the crew.
Totoland now.
Totoland, right. We changed that, yeah.
I bless the rains down in
Totland?
Totoland.
No, that's
Toto
the
wasn't
artist.
that.
The
Toto
artist
wasn't that
is Toto.
self-absorbent in their songs. Sorry, guys.
Well, there goes that panel.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
So that goes from the Raizo chapter to basically the introduction of Totoland there. So I have it as Totland, but I guess it has changed.
And you got to make sure to get Vivi on the cover. I think she appears in like 5 panels.
Yeah, super misleading cover. Like, oh, yeah, Vivi's back.
But
She's going to join the crew.
The good thing is under each of I unfortunately don't have it with me, but under the Japanese covers, there's a hidden cover, and Panda Man shows up. And in this one, Panda Man is Vivi's face.
Oh man, Panda Man shows up
He's gonna join
finally.
the crew.
Yeah, Vivi's scene. Well, it was great to see Vivi back. She's definitely playing a huge part in Reverie, of course, but she pretty much did her her Rose bit from Titanic. I'm flying, pal. I'm flying.
Yeah.
That's how I talk about Pal.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's
Yeah, why
a
is he
thing.
still alive? It's just.
Let it go, Indiana.
This one we do have with us today. If Ed will get this, this is Color Walk 7. And we'll give this one out with a trivia question probably later on. This is, for those who don't know, Ed, you want to open the book and show what it contains? It contains color spreads from after the time skip through Punk Hazard, just the beginning of Dressrosa-ish. And then there'll be a book just for Dressrosa. And it's just a beautiful kind of collection of Oda's artwork for the period from 2010 through 2013, I think. And it's the 7th one, and we're going to be giving one out later. Any thoughts on Color Walk 7 that we haven't went through before?
It's different. It's a little bit different than the previous Color Walks. It's not organized the same, but for the most part, it's still with separating it by years. Those pages are a little bit different.
I think only because it felt like it's been a long time since we've gotten a color walk. It feels very jam packed. Like the first few spreads after the time skip, Oda was just doing a lot of spreads. So those first few, I'm like, well, I haven't seen these in years, but Oda was just doing spreads.
And I think the last
after
two
the other.
color walks were released in relatively short succession around the time we started the show. So it's been like 5 years.
Yep. Oh, they also include sketches from Oda, like original designs for people you love, like Vanderdecken.
And people who you don't really love, like Trafalgar Law's time skip. I'm just kidding. I keyed.
You're going to get trampled after this.
Law is a fine character. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, we have
these things.
You get a little angry when you talk about Trafalgar Law.
Yeah, thanks. I feel much better eating these. So we're gonna give these out in a little bit. These are a snack product by Tohato with special participation by Bandai.
You don't have to read that every time. We do not get money from them.
What if we do? This is just, I'm taking precautions.
Okay.
I call them Trafalgar Law onion rings, patent pending. They're basically these little tiny onion ring snacks that sort of taste like Top Ramen, and they come with a little flavor blasted packet. And like flavor blasted goldfish. That's a thing. By Nabisco. Give us money, Nabisco.
You're really... Yeah, Nabisco has all their representatives listening to the One Piece podcast.
I ate a bag of these last night, and they're actually not
yeah,
bad.
I videotaped that.
Hey, if we ever had to sell out and kind of do sponsors the way most podcasts do for MeUndies and anything, I would love to do commercials for Nabisco,
God, yeah.
to be honest.
Speaking of MeUndies, give us money and give me free MeUndies.
And Luffy punched Doflamingo right into the buildings in Dressrosa, and everybody's starting to crumble, just like a delicious Chips Ahoy cookie crumbles in my mouth.
What the hell were we talking about? I do want to thank William for bringing most of the prizes we have here from Japan, but I want to talk about the latest happenings in the manga, which I know is a lot of the reason you guys may be here, and that's the Whole Cake Island arc. So I want to go around. Let's start with Sam at the end there. I want to make sure everyone gets a chance to speak. We have such a big crew. What has been your favorite part so far? And try and choose a panel I have up there of the
the Caesar one.
of the arc so far.
No joke. I was going to say I love every hint that we get that Caesar Clown is for sure joining the Straw Hat crew. Caesar fans, anyone?
Any round of applause? Any Caesar for crew fans? I want to hear
Poison children.
But he didn't succeed.
Freak.
He didn't succeed, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He poisoned them. It's not like Robin killed Igaram and then went after his kids.
Robin claims to have literally killed people. She said her specialty was assassination. She's actually killed people. Caesar has tried to kill people and failed.
Well,
To be fair,
I knew this is what was going to happen.
I mean, Given how the world of One Piece is, assassination could mean character assassination. Like slander. Because, I mean, like...
She's the slanderer!
Yeah, like, nobody really dies.
Does Robin have a blog? She just...
Yeah, it's darkwoman.tumblr.com. It's...
You better set that up quick.
I'm on it. I'm on it, Jack.
Bryan, what part of the Whole Cake Island arc so far is your favorite?
I know I'm like in contention with the rest of the podcast here, but I love the swindling forest shit. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't even think I took a screen cap of that. I'm like,
Nah. Yeah, but I mean,
this happens during that, so sure. I guess we got that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's definitely Candyland. It's definitely all the weird like fantasy, like Rainbow Bright and everything that's weird and like why did the cakes? Yeah, why do the cakes have faces? This is disturbing. Yeah. And the fact that Luffy hasn't offered any of these trees a crew position yet is kind of amazing. A remarkable restraint.
Remarkable restraint from Luffy. I'm very proud of him.
He's the best at restraint.
Yes.
It's time Skip Luffy.
Tremendous.
He's changed.
Yeah, now he doesn't ask trees to join the crew randomly.
Right. He'll just
hey,
ask.
you're a tree. I want you on my crew. He's got too many choices now, so he's got to pick the best tree.
You think like
can't just have any tree joining the Straw Hats.
You think like Rayleigh or someone had a talking to with him over the course of his training?
Okay, look, we've been in this forest and you've asked these inanimate objects to join your crew several times now. Just chill.
Yeah.
Actually, that's Jill's job.
And it's also very much like Hansel and Gretel and like the Grimm's fairy tale, especially with the Mirror
Alice in
World and
Wonderland-ish.
Boule. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much so.
Alex.
So, I like the fact that we see a certain character again. What's his name? Jimbo. Jimmer Jam.
Here we are. I'll get it up here for you.
There he is. Jimbei.
Out of the way, everybody.
First night of
It's
the
a
sea.
croquembouche.
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 Luffy-kun.
Luffy-kun.
Wait.
Luffy-kun.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked to see Jinbei again. And can't wait to see him again, because he kind of showed up again.
I like his new outfit. Although that'll probably be changed since
I
the
love.
days
Yeah, I
passed.
love the. It's very coughing chic.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Pokemon.
Says the guy that tried to make a Pokemon Go reference earlier. Come on, Zach.
Yeah.
Jill, what do you think? What's your favorite part of the Whole Cake Island arc?
Oh God, I love when, as shown by my love of Fishman Island, I love it when Oda can just go batshit with his character designs, and Whole Cake Island is clearly showing that because she just has basically every race there, and Oda clearly is just like, let's just do this. Let's just make this person have a giant neck and long hair, and let's just give this cake a face.
Or the sun, or a cloud, or that peanut. A cacahuete.
All right, that was creepy.
I do love that the cloud is like wearing a beanie. A little bit.
My favorite is Big Mom's hat. If you catch
yeah.
on the panel, the hat's alive. Yeah.
It is not like what's happening.
It's very concerned.
So is the umbrella.
Yeah.
Track the hat.
Okay, Steve, what's your favorite part of Whole Cake Island so far?
It's
You've got to say the one thing you're famous for saying here. The one character that you might be a
it's
little
like
obsessed with.
it's like
No, I know that's your catchphrase, but
well, yeah, because I was going to say something else, but yeah, my favorite character is Sanji. So
He's cool.
He's so cool at yahoo.com. The fact that Oda revealed like, hey, we're gonna get into his backstory, and I was like, strap me in, to this roller coaster. I'm gonna enjoy this. It's I definitely think Sanji's like development wise, he's kind of fell to the wayside over the years, like Chopper and like Nami. And even Brooke, and I should mention also, I think we're gonna get some backstory on Brooke too, because there's been so many hints. It's those 3 dots,
Yeah, he's
Pedro.
acting pretty weird.
And was it a Jaguar Sanji over there?
Jaguar.
No, but I'm really looking forward to seeing. First of all, I'm just glad to see Sanji back in the story because having half the crew split up through Dressrosa and Dressrosa being the longest arc, it was too hard to bear. And I got to say, I'm enjoying this Straw Hat crew a lot more. It's a lot funnier than Luffy, Zoro, and like Robin and Frankie. At least in my opinion, I think the antics have been a lot zanier in this.
I think the arc the arc is dictating that more
Yeah.
than the characters. Yeah.
Which sort of dovetails with my favorite part of Whole Cake Island so far, which is honestly, it's Big Mom. Big Mom's crazy. Like, she wants to make everybody into a giant so that she can have a tea party with them, and she has crazy eyes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look
I was
at
going
that.
to say that doesn't make any sense.
Her power is ridiculous. She animates things. She gives things faces. She kills one of her own children because he couldn't give her a the croquembouche.
Croquembouche.
Wait. Which child does she kill?
Charlotte Moscato, the minister of gelato.
Thank you. Okay, has to be said.
I have to say the full name every time we mention him.
I mean, the Charlotte Moscato, Minister of Gelato.
Yeah, we said that already, Steve.
Oh, Charlotte Moscato, Minister of Gelato.
Yeah, I think my favorite part definitely has been the Vinsmoke stuff. I mean, I have to agree with Steve. I am curious how much more we're gonna delve into Sanji stuff.
I really hope we do because I feel like we haven't gotten too much of it, and also just the fact that they're like this like Sentai, family is because I think everyone when we first heard like, oh, we're gonna find out about Sanji's family, everyone just imagined like Goodfellas, like mafia, like everyone in suit and ties. Yeah, and then like thought, oh, royalty, and then Oda's like, nah, they're Power Rangers, and I was like, sweet.
And there's also the fact that, I think they have to address Sanji's mom at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like that's going to be such a huge, that seems kind of the obvious.
Yeah.
Direction,
Well, on
right?
the other
that's going to
hand-
be a huge factor in what Sanji's relationship with his family is like.
I mean, look, no offense to moms, but the way that's a bad way to start. The way Oda the way Oda wrote it was, moms are the antithesis to adventure or something. So, and we also haven't seen a lot of moms, except I guess Dadan for Luffy, but I mean Belmere.
Nico.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Nico,
But
Olvia.
it's still such a distinct question that we're still left with after we've learned everything we have about Sanji's family so far, and I think that's it. Just I know Oda doesn't have probably the most ambitious ideas for how he's going to take Sanji's chivalry, but it's such a natural direction to go in.
Wait, guys, there's one thing we forgot to talk about, and I think we should, and that is this beautiful family of Capone
babies
and Chiffon.
make our dreams come.
Included, I think Ed pointed this out, the baby is sucking on a cigar-shaped pacifier.
Yeah.
And some stubble. He's got some stubble.
You got to start him early, Zach.
He already has a thicker mustache than I could ever grow.
We talked a little bit about Capone. I think he's really been stand out for this arc as well.
Oh yeah, he sure has.
He's cooler than Hawkins.
Well, that's not hard.
Look, let's set the bar high here, Steve. And he's kind of been the forgotten of the supernovae.
He wasn't really high up in the rankings of. There wasn't much to know about him earlier on.
He
but
was
now-
in my heart.
He was always in Brian's
He looks
heart.
like a Batman villain.
And now he is. He's really sort of operating on his own here. He's going into business for himself.
Yeah. And also, what do you think has happened to this guy, Peckham's?
He died.
It's bound to
Nope.
happen.
Yep. He's dead.
When you get shot and thrown in the water,
No
you
question about
usually
yeah.
die.
Oh, when you get shot in One Piece, you're dead. You're dead.
Even when you do die and you get shot in One Piece, the bullets are not the thing to kill you.
Well, if Bellamere was shot in the head by the Yeti Cool Brothers, maybe she would have lived because the Yeti Cool Brothers apparently don't know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Back to the assassination thing, Sam. Yeti Cool Brothers. They're supposed to be assassins.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe Robin also held a gun to someone's face and then like, dang, I missed. The Yeti Cool Brothers suck.
yeah.
They really suck.
Like yeah, if we could rank characters.
I'm sorry to all the Yeti Cool Brother fans out there.
Yeah, they might legit be the worst characters in One Piece.
Well, no, not quite.
My favorite thing about them
the
is
worst
that-
character ever was introduced in Dressrosa. So.
Okay, well, this
Well.
is...
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Pink?
No.
Mr. Pink.
No, it's a queen.
Yeah, I like Senior Pink.
and
Senor Pink, Queen Orica Vecchi.
Oh yeah.
Queen,
yeah.
Queen.
Oh yeah. She
For
does
anyone
like
who
a second.
remembers
I
that.
thought
And
we,
for those
I
who
thought
don't,
we
we
didn't have
envy
to
you.
say her name, but we did. So why me do?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So We have a lot more. We have some extra stuff too for you guys, but I want to get some questions. And if you ask a question, you get a prize. Maybe that's a good incentive. Woo! And Bryan,
Don't ask us how to become a voice actor.
We don't know.
Don't ask what time it is.
Well, Bryan, yeah. So anyone have a question? Anyone? Bryan has the microphone.
We're dead serious. If you ask
it could
a question,
be about Rick and Morty.
you'll get a
since he's
prize.
here. He won't answer it. Okay. Come up to the microphone with Bryan if you want a question. He'll call you up. In the meanwhile, no, it's not even taking that long.
Half Trafalgar Law.
Well, first of all, I love the podcast. I'm guessing everyone else loves it too. I'm like the main reason why
Thank
I
you.
came because of you guys.
Thank you.
Shucks.
And like the shirt, I was gonna ask, when are you guys gonna show your t-shirts? Because I've been wanting to buy one.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy one so I could come here with it, but yeah.
We're gonna be selling them again in the next few months. We're just setting up a store, actually.
But not those ones, though. I think we're
No, we're gonna. Well, not those exact ones, but a similar version of that.
with our new logo.
But we're going to do the old logo, the new logo, and our alternate logo.
Retro. That's,
And the one that we use for
back the One
Machi
Piece
Media.
Podcast T-shirt classic.
Yes.
Millions.
That's kind of the goal. And hopefully some other cool stuff too with it. So yeah, we'll definitely have that. Bryan, you could choose the prize for the person. Yeah, now that you've there's also some clear files. You want this? This comes from that's a Film Gold
organizing.
extra. Yeah, why don't we do that? Yeah. That came with Film Gold.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thanks, man.
Any
got
any-
something.
We take podcast questions. We take One Piece questions.
Wrestling questions.
This one's to Steve.
Uh-oh.
We went to your booth yesterday. How long was your cigarette break?
Oh, did you read my tweet?
Earlier.
Oh, it's funny. I don't smoke. I know Patrick Seitz, who's the voice of Frankie, did tweet a photo of him at my table, like with the "Be Right Back" sign, and he's like, hands his palms, and I said like, "Oh, I just went to go buy some cigarettes. I'll be right back. Don't follow me." It's kind of like a reference to like crappy dads who abandon their kids.
Wow.
I'm just going to the store. I'll be right back. Skirt! I'm like, wow, he really drove around that corner in a hurry. Sorry, it's
We were doing podcasts.
I do have a table in Artist Alley.
74.
They're not even numbered. It's a small room.
If you can't find him, he's the Steve there.
It's the Steve there. My purple table. Yeah, it's just we're insanely busy at this con this weekend. I'm used to maybe at most doing One Piece panel, not several. So I'm like in and out. But I also have someone who's helping me out with the table too. So if I'm not there, she'll be there. So does that answer the question? No, it was how long did I take? It was a cigarette break.
We're really getting the hard-hitting ones
Brack.
here.
4 hours.
Okay, that was incorrect, but thank you. And as your prize, we have you could give him both. Give him the bag too. That's a bag from the One Piece Festival, celebrating Film Gold, and also some curry
And chocolate.
with One Piece on it. Enjoy the curry. Ed, did you have something you want to say?
It's just special One Piece Film Gold curry.
Why did you want to say that?
I
so
did not
badly?
know that.
Make sure you hug the mic, by the way. Get up close to the mic.
It tastes just like celluloid.
Just like that.
So now that Oda says One Piece is, I guess you said 76% done.
It's okay. Well, we could talk about that. But
Well,
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You guys think? Not really my question yet, but it was more.
Shut up, Sam.
It was more. Do you guys think you're still going to be all on the podcast?
I think we should probably go down the row. Sam, let's start with you. Yeah, no.
Will I still be on the podcast in 10 years? That's just hard to say, honestly. I mean,
Well, on
I'm
your
just-
contract. it
Sam,
says.
better keep up the good work.
I'll definitely be reading One Piece then for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be hanging out with these podcast guys for as long as it makes sense, obviously.
Do we
I was gonna say and then you said as long
until-
as it makes sense.
Yeah,
And
until I become too cool and popular to hang out with these
Well,
guys.
we're just at the bar having a drink, and Sam comes in like, "Oh, it's me, it's Sam." Like, this doesn't make sense anymore. It's like we're cutting you loose.
To get a little intimate, I guess. I love these guys. These guys are some of my greatest friends in the world. So I can't not be a part of this. It's a big part of my life. I'm an adult, man.
I'm an adult.
I have things to do, but like I flew down here and to hang out with my my family. So as long as we're
That's an awe. That's how you do it, Sam.
As long as we're together, I will
family.
I'll be in it to win it. Yeah, that's Zach's favorite song.
Yep.
Zach loves that song. What Bryan said.
Oh, well, thank God we changed my editorials to once a month rather than twice a month if I'm going to stay with the podcast for a long time. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of fun. I've been listening to them since like a year since they started, and I've been writing for them for over a year now. So it's really fun, and it's great.
Yeah, I remember you said to us yesterday, it's like, I've been listening to you guys since I was in high school, and we were like, oh, we're old.
Yeah, Bryan, you're up there.
Oh, I'm done after this panel.
Okay. Good answer. Steve.
Jeez. Will I still be doing it? If I could steal a line that our Old English correspondent once said, like, this is like a mafia family. Like, the only way
Our Old English correspondent?
What is it? It's... Yeah,
who you're talking about. That's a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah, he pretty much compared us to a mafia family. Like, the only way you leave is you die. You die in
That's
a body
true.
bag. Well, as far as I know, we have a nice safety net with doing this show because we're doing it about like a manga that's not ending anytime soon, so there's plenty of material. But I enjoy doing it. I know it's been a lot harder for me being on some of the most recent episodes since I have like a new job at the moment. But I love One Piece. I love talking about it. But like this show means a lot more to me because I'm doing it with some of like the closest friends I have now, and it's so much fun. I don't think I'd still be doing it if it wasn't these guys. So as long as they're still on it.
That goes for me too. As long as there's a One Piece podcast, I'll be on it.
I planned so it's 70% done. It would be done in like the 2030s is what I think we estimated, if that's true. So I'm going to have my kids start hosting it, I think, in around 15 years when I get those. We made I forgot who made the joke on Twitter. It'll be One Piece Podcast Kids or One Piece Podcast Babies.
Has been canceled. Stay tuned for the new Choco Box.
So we'll have a spin-off with all our children hosting when that happens.
None of
us have children.
I just want to say, I feel like now our podcast will end just like every Shonen Jump manga with our kids. We must make a pact right here at this panel. We will all name our first son Bort.
That might not pass for me. Next, any other questions?
So for anyone who has just arrived, come up, ask One Piece questions, get One Piece prizes.
Get One Piece prizes. We have many One Piece. Oh, by the way, the prize that we gave out for the last person were, I want to read this exactly, dandy bath salts with Sanji on them. Not
those kind of bath salts. Not those kind of bath salts.
Actual bath salts, and also a poster for Film Gold. Yes, next question.
Hi, how do you think One Piece will end?
Well, okay, how much time do we have left?
With not a bang, but with a whimper. There we go.
No.
Now you stole mine, so we're even. Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve. Chill.
Nami's going to adopt 100 children to run her floating casino for her and swindle people.
My son is also named Bort. Monkey D. Bort. I really hope. I honestly, I was actually talking about this. Makino has a baby. We
could
saw
stay up here
in
too.
the around the world cover stories, and I honestly think it's going to come like a full circle. Like Luffy's going to be back in Fuchsia Village, chilling at a bar, and some kids like going to be all scrappy dude, chicken hog, like I'm going to be a great pirate. And he's like, here, take my hat. That's how Scrappy Doo used to talk. It's like, let me at him. I wasn't just trying to make a Scrappy Doo reference. No, I think like he's gonna pass on the Straw Hat to the next generation. But now with all like the Shonen Jump manga ending with like, here's my kid, it's like it's Digimon season 2. I'm getting kind of nervous, so I might have to retract that statement.
I've had a long-standing theory that I think Luffy will sacrifice himself or possibly die at the end. I've been reconsidering that, but this is like one of my oldest theories about the show, so I'm not willing to give it up just yet.
Any other theories here for the end of the show? I mean, we've talked about with Greg, who, for those who don't know, I'll get the picture up here in a second, but he's our correspondent in Japan. He was on Hokotate, which is this big game show in Japan, and he got to meet Oda, and he's met him several times, and he's gotten this autograph. Here he is crying after receiving it.
Don't we think he's the basis of Bartolomeo?
I am 100% convinced he is the basis for Bartolomeo. For those who
his apartment looks like the inside of the Mr. Luffy go, like with the signatures on the wall. It really does.
I'll see if I could get the picture. Maybe if you guys come to the Arcs of Consequence panel, I'll start it with that side by side. It's eerily close. Anyway, the story actually here.
Well, if it gets to the point where there's a trivia show in One Piece and Bartolomeo competes on it, and Luffy writes a special note to the contestants, and Bartolomeo is like.
By the way, Steve is making a very disturbing face.
Well, Greg made several on Hokotate, so love you, Greg.
Yeah, no, we love Greg, but he had, his long-standing thing is every character is going to come back. It's going to be this huge epic battle at the end. That's going to make
Bean will come back.
I think the line Oda may have said it's going to make Marineford, look like nothing. Basically, it's just going to be this huge event.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a war.
And he also pointed out on Twitter, and I definitely agree with this. I think this weekend, at least there's no romance in One Piece, so it will not be ending like two other big series have, which very similar romantic fashion. Bryan, do you have any thoughts about the end of One Piece?
Yeah, I think I've talked about on the podcast how I think definitely the notion that the world coming together, that the world would literally change, that maybe the secret of One Piece might be why the red line just seems to be a gigantic wall. Maybe the red line comes down, uniting all the oceans. Exactly.
I also have a crazy conglomeration of theories on the website called the One Piece Connection, which combines it uses a lot of fan theories that I think have a lot of credence, and also combines it with a bunch of my own and a bunch from the staff. We kind of all collaborated working on that together.
There's also a fun audio book version of it.
Yeah, which Alex and Ed narrated.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
It's funny regarding the ending about One Piece. My coworker, who is just he doesn't know anything about One Piece other than the fact that it's been going on for as long as it has, and I do this podcast, so he ribs me a lot. And he's like, "What's the secret of One Piece? I bet it's friendship. I bet it's friendship." And I'm like, "It's actually though not friendship." I think Oda debunked that.
Oda debunked that.
He's like, "It's an actual physical treasure.
It's an actual thing."
Yeah.
He said it wouldn't be something. He might have said it wouldn't be something lame like that or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Well, it's the one thing he said that it explicitly is not.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the power to connect all things, but an actual power, not necessarily we're all friends now. Okay. Sam, you had?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to say for sure how you... I mean, obviously I think a war with Blackbeard is kind of inevitable. I don't think Luffy will die. I think if anyone on the crew is ripe to die, it's probably Zoro. He seems the most self-sacrificial.
Zoro does get pretty close to death a bunch. Brooke, did you say, really?
He's already dead.
My main goal with the ending of One Piece is I want it to actually make me cry. Not just get close to crying, not just me saying
just
I cried
weeping.
because it sounds good. Yeah, I want to actually cry. I want to finally cry at a piece of entertainment. As much as I've never done that. I want to so bad, but I'm just so yeah. But I don't know. I'm just naturally inhibited person. But
I want Robin's backstory with an actual kid voicing Robin.
I choked. I choke up. I get watery eyes. I've never actually cried.
We're gonna after this panel. We're gonna go take Sam out back.
Yeah,
I want to. I want the final arc to make me cry. I want that would be amazing. Sure, why not at this point? I don't know.
We're gonna have to Clockwork Orange Sam, just tape his eyes open, just play Drum Island on repeat, or I know. Yeah, did we have this conversation recently? You said I think Brooke's gonna die. I'm like, you cynical person. But then I think we made the joke Brooke finally. No, we were making because Luffy promised Laboon that they'd fight again when they'd see him, and then when Brooke and Laboon finally reunite, just Luffy comes out of nowhere, just punches him and sends him flying. Told you we were fighting again, and then he lands on the opposite side of the red line, and Brooke just turns to dust and just fades away. He just gives up. He's like,
I've joked about this before, but what's the lifespan of reindeer? Because
no, I looked this up. I looked this up after. He'd be dying just about now. Yeah, it's around 16, I think.
all that chocolate.
It's all that chocolate. That's what it is. Any more questions? More questions. We are giving, for those just walking in, we are giving out cool exclusive prizes from Japan for those who ask questions.
First off, Sam, I'll take you on the Caesar thing once I see his tragic backstory.
Yes.
All right.
Will you cry at that?
But what I've really enjoyed over the since 2010, since I've been listening, is I know.
Yeah.
Is all the specials that you've done, the holiday specials when you do the live stream for Anime Fans Give Back. Do you have any more plans to do any sort of specials like that in the future?
That's a great question.
We're actually doing a telethon next week.
No, he's lying. What are you telling people?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, these episodes certainly will be special episodes. But do you want to talk a little bit about the Christmas specials we've done in the past, Steve?
Yeah, I can remember. They don't age well because none of us can sing well. Oh, dude, I think you're pretty...
I think they age well.
You're pretty good singer. No, because when we were at our friend's last year in Dallas and you decided to play it, our friend walked into the room and was like, what the hell is that? It sounds like someone is dying. And then that's when Zach's like, all right, I'll shut it off. Yeah, we did some holiday, it's One Piece characters, the singing songs.
You forgot about him?
It was the Hody Jones Christmas special. Then we did the Caesar Clown Nuclear Winter Wonderland, which I think was an amazing title.
Yes.
I was
give the
this is one I wanted to talk about, but you probably know more than I do.
Yeah, I completely forgot about this. This was in the works actually. We were This was like 90% a thing that happened. We almost did a One Piece podcast Christmas Carol, like the Ebenezer Scrooge Christmas Carol, but with all of us. And Zach was Scrooge because he actually hates Christmas.
Yeah.
I think
everyone's gonna hate me after this.
I wrote up a script for the entire thing and had everybody playing their parts. And I think we were trying to get Ian Sinclair to be the Ghost of Christmas Future. No, but I mean, I think we could have pull.
Oh yeah, we got that kind of pull. The Ian Sinclair Goes to Christmas Future.
Well, no,
pull.
we got Tatum to read my my Eneru
That's true.
poem. Yeah.
No, that was that was an Eneru.
Yeah. We did a Grinch, how Eneru stole Christmas.
Right.
Thing, and we had Tatum read it, and it was 100 emoji. It was great.
That was amazing, and it was so funny because the last line is "Merry Deathmas to all, and to all good night." And and for the Christmas specials, because we did the How Eneru Stole Christmas one year, and then Zach and I came up with the idea to, at the end of every Christmas special, to put in that line, even though he's not in the last one we did was Caesar Clown. He's not in that at all, and it just ends. And then the audio clip just plays again. It's stupid things like that make me giggle nonstop, as you could see in this panel today, where I just burst out laughing at silly things.
Thank you, Steve. So the answer to the question is maybe. No, they're very, very time-consuming to make. Is the problem with the Christmas ones, especially?
Yeah, the Christmas Carol one. I think we were trying to do that like the day before Christmas. Like that was.
I make them work on Christmas Eve.
He's a workhorse. He really is. I'm a regular Bob Cratchit. Comparatively, you guys should read a book.
Okay.
No, we did do. I know at least the Hody Jones ones. We were working on that one right up to when we released.
Yeah,
it.
I love your Hody Jones Ed so much. He was eating cereal during it, which were the energy pills. What were they called? The evil drugs. Evil drugs.
I thought you said he was listening to cereal.
No.
That was a podcast? No, that wasn't out by that point.
I just
Hody
remember
Jones and Matsu make a great cereal. The Hody Jones.
It's Hody Jones cereal.
Hody Jones.
Hody Jones.
Hody Jones. No, the joke we made
scoops of drugs
is Doctor was on the podcast and he pronounced Kyrios. And I think that's a good
Kyrios, yeah.
Kyrios.
They make sure you ain't Curio.
Okay, so our next question comes via phone.
It's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mom. You're embarrassing your son.
Shame.
Thousands of people are listening.
Shame.
Okay, next question.
For Mom.
Yeah, for Mom, everyone. Yeah. No.
Any other questions?
Come up if you have a question.
We got one more here, and then we got this gentleman.
No,
okay. It was not
and hopefully the young man.
Saddest backstory.
Wait, I gotta give you a sad prize here. Definitely the bath salts.
Saddest backstory. I think I just have to go with Robin. That one really. It's just. Yeah, that's the one to me. Like that's really just the dead is she stuff is obviously just unbearable in the best way.
I gave him a Shirahoshi pen. And she has a pretty.
So this is saddest and not favorite, right? Yeah.
Saddest.
I'm gonna go with Nami actually, because all that happened like like Nami and Nojiko watched all that happen, and that's pretty messed up, and like it's I mean Robin's is very very sad obviously, and everybody's got a sad backstory, but Nami's is the one that got me.
Let's bring the room down a little bit.
Yeah. Brian, what's your?
Yeah, Brian, what's your favorite?
Saddest, not favorite.
Yeah, just because I'll be a contrarian, but I also kind of believe this. Senior Pink.
Okay, let's move on.
You really are done with us after this panel. I don't even want to look at you.
I fucking cry.
Go ahead, Joe.
Honestly, Brooks resonates the most with me because he was alone
Sam
with the
likes
corpses of his crew for 50 years in this like dark ocean, and then he finally thinks, oh, he sees people, and then he loses his shadow, and he's kind of screwed. Like there was that one scene where he met up with the crew the first time. He was just so happy to be alive because he was able to talk to people for the first time, and I was like, oh god, this is it. I'm in love with the freaking skeleton with the top hat.
For some reason, I forgot about Brooks.
Can't change it.
Brooke is my favorite Straw Hat, and like that, I do rewatch that the last Big Sake scene over and over again, and like I do like when he gets like by himself and he's playing the piano and like the tears are falling on the piano. Like that's
Quattro.
nasty. That chokes me up.
Solo.
I did not cry.
Duo.
He's a robot.
Catcha. It's a little complicated. I think the one I cry the most at is Choppers. I think that's just because it's the music choices in the anime are so well done, and the performances, both Japanese and English, phenomenal. But I think Nami's is the saddest. Like I'm going to say that, but the one I cry at the most is Choppers for sure.
Ed, what's your favorite or saddest backstory? What's your saddest? What's your sad backstory?
I agree with with Nami's having to watch your mom be killed in front of you and then have to go to work for the man who killed her really is the saddest timeline.
Yeah, Nami's look, they're all incredibly sad. I think Robin's for me hits the hardest. That one I definitely, if not cry outright, definitely tear up every time I watch or read. The anime, I think, does an exceptionally good job with that in a time where the anime was not doing exceptionally great. But, oh, God, it just kills me, that backstory. We have another question.
Going with the flow of negativity here.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
That's us.
Who is your most disliked character in all of One Piece?
Anger is better than sadness.
Queen. Queen was the first character that I ever just... Like, because even like with villains, like, oh, you're so despicable, but you kind of still like appreciate what that brings to the story. No, Queen brought nothing. That is a low point of Dressrosa.
And we're giving you, by the way, that is the Ed. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, this was something I saw at Kino a few months back. It's a how to draw the One Piece characters with ballpoint pens instruction book, and there's a lot of cool little illustrations in there. And I think the characters are pretty cute. So, but I also don't draw. So.
Back to the negativity.
Queen's definitely the worst character I could think of. The most annoying characters to me, if I have not mentioned it before, is Satori, Hattori, Kotori, Wanzi, which are all voiced by the same voice.
Yeah, anyone voiced by that Seiyu, you despise.
Except I like one person he does, and that's Beppo.
Beppo? Yeah. What do you think about Mr. Nine? Same guy?
Yeah, Mr. Nine.
Mr. Nine?
Which one is
Goodbye, baby?
Baby. No, he's fine. He's fine. I have no qualms with Mr. Nine. Wanzi I appreciate
Wanzi.
slightly more because the gags are actually the.
Wanzi's hilarious.
Maybe my least favorite character is Pell because he's still alive.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, Ed.
It's not his fault. He tried.
Oh! Go ahead.
I too hate Queen.
Yeah, I forgot about Queen. Okay. I was gonna. I usually had like Perona in my pocket, but I thought that I like Perona a lot better now that I've reread Thriller Bark.
Yeah.
God, I guess Queen, right?
There's no redeeming anything there.
I actually think I hate Absalom more than I hate Queen.
Oh no! Yes,
Yeah.
Absalom's the worst. Absalom is like legitimately the worst character.
He had a cool ability. I'm
This
like,
is great
God,
ability.
Kind of.
sad. You're just
Like,
a
oh
sad
my
bitch.
god, yeah, okay, I completely forgot about Absalom. Absalom way more than Queen because Queen only shows up in like one chapter. We have to deal with Absalom for all of Thriller Bark, and he's just completely awful. Like, terrible. What a terrible character.
And like Queen doesn't do anything awful outside, oppressing Tontadas. But Absalom's like a pervert.
She
rapist.
vacuums Tontadas.
Yeah, but it's also like the reason that we don't like her is because of just the chapter that she's in is just
That's true.
She's
That's
not,
true. Well, she's taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not her fault.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't her
it's
fault.
not,
It was
no.
Frankie and Senor Pink's fault.
Yeah. Way to go, Brian. Yeah, thank you for reminding me about Absalom. Jesus.
Yeah,
oh.
okay, you guys have pretty good points there. Sam.
That's tough because I don't think I really hate too many characters. I mean, I don't like Absalom, don't like Queen. Let's see here. Like, I don't know. It's usually some of the more forgettable like members of the villain groups that I tend not to like. Like, I don't like Treble from Dressrosa very much. I don't know. He kind of weirds me out. I think Rebecca's probably.
We don't all have to do our impressions of Troubles.
Like Rebecca's probably like the worst written character, but like again, that's not necessarily her fault. I guess that's true. Well, I mean, like if there's a character where it's just like when they show up on screen, you're just like, ugh, I just don't like looking at them or thinking about them or hearing their voice or whatever.
Satori for me. I mean,
I don't mind Satori. Satori.
Whatever it was, I don't remember. Thank you all for just my nightmare.
Yeah, Satori's fine.
Okay,
with me.
guys, you're
Then
all
again,
off mic, so
I'm
no
like
one even
soft on
knows.
all things Skypea, so.
Oh no, I love Hatsuri and Katsu. Go ahead. Really obscure One Piece character hatred. Yes, next question.
All right, so regarding Awakening, the revelation that brought, how do you think that's going to affect the story? Is it going to be like, do you think Luffy's awakening is going to happen like in a desperate moment, or is it just going to just pop right the hell out of nowhere?
Okay, so I have very strong feelings about Devil Fruit Awakening.
You're moving on the negativity.
Speaking of negativity, and it's only because I thought that like the way that Doflamingo's awakening powers were handled were like really ham-fisted and convoluted. Didn't seem to make much sense to me, and it was just sort of a way to drag on the Dressrosa arc. That said, though, I think that if Oda can prove that he can, if I have no doubt in my mind that Luffy's devil fruit powers will awaken, because they did introduce something like that into the series, and the fact that you can do that with a paramecia fruit or paramethea, I think that's what we're going by.
Yeah, wasn't there a reason? It was from Greek?
Paramecia.
Paramethea?
Paramecia, yeah. So, since Luffy's fruit is a paramecia,
it's either way. Yeah, this is not a discussion we need to.
Yeah, semantics.
It's not important.
I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to see some sort of Devil Fruit Awakening from him in the form of like, I'm gonna make, this whole world my bouncy house, like
that I like.
Like,
that I like.
Or something to that effect, like change the terrain, because that's basically what we've seen so far. But you don't really know. We don't really know too much about Devil Fruit Awakening, aside from the fact that Zoan users can use it to become something like Monster Chopper.
Right, but there's also the issue of like devil fruit powers that don't really lend themselves to awakening. I was thinking about like how Bon Clay or Ivankov's powers would awaken.
Well,
I don't really know how that would happen.
Here's the thing: I don't think there's any like I don't believe that there's going to be like a set rule that says that a paramecia awakening is going to affect your surroundings. I think there's a lot of room for every devil fruit to have its own unique way of awakening. So I think that's more just like if Oda has like a unique idea of how to twist this devil fruit's powers beyond its normal rule set, he's going to do whatever he wants.
We haven't even discussed or even gotten into the possibility of Logia awakening.
Yeah, what's that going to look like?
I mean, that's like world.
Everything turns into light.
And also considering that we almost know nothing about what creates, how to create devil fruits and all that stuff. Maybe this is what devil fruits are about. It's like this contained magic that you just unleash, and then it's catastrophic.
I actually think that when we get more into Vegapunk, Story Awakening is going to come into because
Mr. Biggie Pants.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got his title wrong. I apologize. I'm not a real One Piece fan. But yeah, as he's done so much work on devil fruits, as shown by his ability to bring it into objects, that I feel like Awakening's really going to come. We're going to at least see some of his explanations being like, "Oh, our research has shown us that blah 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 blah."
Okay, thank you. Before the next question, is there anyone here who has never seen One Piece or has seen very little? You want to come up? I have something for you if you've never seen One Piece. Because we were going to give this out at the One Piece 101, but not enough people there had never seen One Piece. It's collection 1 for the first 26 episodes, so there you go.
Now you gotta watch it.
Spreading the love.
Now you got no excuse.
Tell your friends.
Okay, here.
Do you guys think Bo will ever get her dream marriage to Luffy?
You think is Bo gonna marry Luffy? Bo Hancock.
I mean, he's already basically married to Law. I mean, let's be real. That's what a pirate marriage is. That's what Big Mom says. Alliance through marriage.
No. No.
If only so we don't have the Naruto Bleach ending of everyone's kids. The One Piece babies.
You get the last, what are we calling
Monkey D.
them?
Bort.
Trafalgar
Lanian wings.
Yes. In case you weren't here before, those are Funyuns, and you pour the seasoning on top and shake it up.
They're not fun.
They are with alcohol.
As we learned.
Any other questions
Do
you
we
guys
have any more questions?
Yeah, come up.
I'm on the line here just to keep it easy.
Or
you
you
can
could
come up.
Yeah.
What's your favorite devil fruit to date?
I don't have one. It's hard for me. I think it's the superpowered question in general. I don't pick. I'd rather be like, just assign me one. I'll just go with it. But I do not have one.
Yeah, I remember I did this thing on Twitter, and it was like a top 5 thing, and somebody was like, "What are your top 5 devil fruits?" And I was just picked random. I think I put Aokiji's fruit at the top because he's a cool dude and he utilizes it very well. He's cool. Yeah. But I think if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be something really like wacky and dumb, like the jacket fruit. Like anything that Oda can just sort of like pull out of nowhere, or not nowhere, but his imagination, and use it in such an interesting way. That's usually the tops for me. Like something like I think the spring fruit also comes to mind because it's so like out of left field. And I also like I like when you feed an item a devil fruit too, like Lasso. Like whenever I tell people about One Piece and how weird it is, I'm like, oh yeah, One Piece is crazy. There's this gun the dog that's actually a gun and has a cold, so it sneezes out high velocity exploding time bomb baseballs. And
my God, I forgot about that.
Like, and that's a really great pitch for like why people should read One Piece.
And now that I think about it, if we're talking about execution, one of the first characters that popped to mind, it's a lot of the Zoan stuff, but Kaku. The whole execution of his devil fruit ability and his design was handled spectacularly. So that's just one of my favorite moments, one of my favorite reveals of a devil fruit power. So I'll say that at least.
I'm particularly fond of Scratchman Apu's. The anime does an amazing job with that, and I can't wait to see more of it coming up in the series, hopefully soon.
Well said.
I said jacket fruit as a joke once, and now I feel like I gotta stick with it because now the more I think about it, the more it's attached to the idea I get.
It's awesome. Off the top of my head, I'm curious about Blackbeard. Yeah, I think the all-encompassing darkness of space is a really terrifying concept. So yeah, that's a great ability.
I feel like a lot of people were thinking that Blackbeard's Devil Fruit was like a variation on like gravity before.
Yeah, I thought that.
But now that Fujitora is here, it's like what is Blackbeard's Devil Fruit? And like
Bryan.
is it a factor in why he's able to take other people's Devil Fruits or what? Although Burgess was trying to take that people's Devil Fruit before.
Bryan, since we're the two fellow sci-fi nerds here, I think I have to ask. If we go to space, then, do you think Blackbeard's going to be involved in some way?
Well, potentially Raftel could be in space.
I kind of hope the Raftel is in space, but it's not ridiculous. We've been to space before. Yeah. That's where Eneru is at the moment.
Yeah, space pirates.
Next question. We have around 10 to 15 minutes before we're going to round up because we got to run to another panel. So just letting people know. Yes.
Who do you think's the most attractive female?
Who's our waifu?
Who's our waifu? Is that right?
Well, let's start.
Sam.
Let's start with Sam. Here.
Definitely Sam.
Because I'm the one with all the opinions, apparently. I like Koala a lot. I think she's cute.
Yeah, I like Koala too, actually. I guess if I had to pick one, though, probably Robin. I think Smart is sexy.
I love Robin so much. Archaeology turns me on.
Easy there, easy. I definitely Robin. I think is one of my top favorite females. But I've kind of developed this like for Margaret from Amazon Lily. I kind of like her like elfish kind of look. She's not a cat girl. She was originally going to be a cat girl. Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, if you didn't know, Oda's original concept was that she ate was it a panther fruit? Yeah, and she was going to turn into like a black panther, but he scrapped it. But no, I really like her design. She's cute.
And the panther ended up being ended up being in the Coliseum on Amazon Lily. But actually, Margaret was my answer as well. She's great.
Damn it, Ed, that's my waifu. Let's fight.
I don't even remember what I chose for mine. But Bryan, do you?
Yeah, easy. Tashigi.
Tashigi.
Sword freak nerd, and that pout face.
Yeah, Tashigi.
Oh yeah, Zach's like, I don't like cartoon ladies.
Next question.
Zach likes Shirahoshi. No, I'm just
no. That's no.
If you were to eat a devil fruit of each of the three types, what would it be? And would it be okay if I tell you which ones I would eat?
Go for it.
Yeah, for Paramecia, I'd eat like jewelry bonnies, where I can change my age. For Zoan type, gorilla. And for a Logia, nuclear power.
Nuclear power.
That might come. That might come.
You're like the guy on Heroes.
Nice.
Nuclear. I feel like we've seen something similar. Oh yeah,
nuclear.
Prize.
It's pronounced nuclear.
Yeah, Dragon Ball and this. I felt like we had some like nuclear fusion. No?
Do we want to go around the horn and?
Yeah, why don't we each, since this is a loaded question, we don't have a ton of time. Pick one of the types each. And
Yeah.
Here. Just pick the devil fruit you want the most.
I don't know. I like Eneru's Rumble fruit. I like how he can use the electricity to like hear things further away and like. I think that's cool.
I forgot about that.
Whenever I'm in traffic, I always wish that I had Law's power so I can switch places with other cars.
So you like Law?
I think I thought his power was cool for a while, and then I was like, oh, this is weird and overpowered. Honestly, though, Robin's power, because I'm super lazy and I'm just like remote, like.
Wow.
I've always wanted to fly, so I feel like Shiki's power would be really fun, and I could have a floating house and. No.
Yeah.
He said beside himself, he can't make anyone else fly. So I assume he can make himself fly.
He can make himself fly.
Yeah, well, no, you can, right?
Yes, he can.
Movie.
Right, okay, yeah. Well, I thought it's because he has swords for legs.
No, I think he can make himself
fly.
Oh, okay, never mind. There you
Unless you're nude.
Then I'll wear shoes, and I'll make them fly. Like, that's not, that's
that's true, too. Yeah, you could,
Sounds like you were sending the plot to Hammer, man. To be...
Oh, that's... The kids in the audience aren't going to get
Jill
that.
got the flying shoes. Actually, it's weird because you. I forgot. I can't do that. You stole my answer. So, because I kind of it'd be cool to fly. I was going to say that. So,
I would go with a Zoan lion fruit. I think that'd be pretty cool.
I was thinking the same.
You want to be a lion?
You want to be one of the lions, do you?
For me, it would be anything teleportation related, and I feel like, or telekinetics of law has to be it. Yeah. I think that's the closest we've seen.
Instant transmission. Gotta
Instant-
love it.
well, next question.
Hi, what are your guys' theories on Gold D. Rogers' power?
I hope he does not have a devil fruit. That'd be so badass if
agree
he's
with
just
that.
a regular dude who just kicks a lot of ass.
Yeah, that's Sam. Sam. I mean, I hope he was just a really powerful pirate. Didn't like have a power. I mean, not like you need one. I mean, you shouldn't. And I think that people rely too much on their devil fruit powers in the series.
I feel like I could
Crocodile.
live with learning that Roger had a devil fruit once upon a time. I wouldn't like if I found out that he had the original gum fruit or something. That
Well-
would be kind of.
Oh,
Part of my theory why he might have is because Shanks had that in a chest. He could have gotten that after his execution.
Although I don't know, like I just like feel like,
like that.
I was under the impression that like during that original chapter, it didn't seem like, or maybe I'm wrong.
Where
For
do you
some
think the
reason,
gum
For
fruit
some reason,
came
I'm
from,
thinking
though?
that Shanks had some not extremely well, no, because Shanks and Buggy were on Roger's ship when
Yeah.
they were doing their thing.
Yeah.
And they didn't know much about devil fruits at that time.
That's true. And well, the other thing is, when Shanks reacted to him eating the gum fruit, it wasn't like, "Oh yeah, you're eating the gum fruit." That Roger, I think he would have been a little happier about it. It was like, "What are you doing?"
No, I think he still would have been pissed.
I might be remembering wrong, but I think there was a line where it's just like, "Oh yeah, we got this from a neighboring raid or
Yeah,
something."
I think they did say that.
Also, is he literally going to keep his dead captain's fruit like in like a box sitting next to him?
He's not
in
Doflamingo.
some random bar.
He's quirky.
By the way, we gave you that as the poster for Film Gold. It could apparently be steam ironed or something. So someone said that, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's folded up, but you can iron it. Like you can iron posters out flat. Just look it up
I didn't
online
even-
to make
To-
sure you
well,
don't burn
yeah.
the
Paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you. Any other? No? Good. Next question.
Hello, you guys.
Thanks.
About the recent interview that Oda gave, where he hid his face. But there out in the net, there's plenty of pictures, a few pictures of we know what he looks like. Do you know what's your guys' take on why he would hide his face for an interview?
Oda is kind of a big deal. And
It's kind of a big deal.
And he's tremendously like well known and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think it's more of a personal thing. I think he
has a family too.
He has a family, but he's always been like that. Though he's been very sort of not reclusive.
I think reclusive
But
is a fair
I guess, is
word.
probably
Yeah.
a good. He's always been kind of like that ever since sort of the beginning of One Piece. So I think it's more of a personal thing. Might be anxiety. You guys know how it goes.
I think it's also part of being the artist and not wanting to overshadow the art.
Yeah,
And also, there really aren't that many pictures of him after like the year 2000. Like the one that we have is from Color Walk 1, and
Yeah.
it's usually the blue paper picture.
That's the one everyone uses all the time. Like, yeah.
No. There actually was a picture in 2009. If you look, it was an interview with him and Watsky, I think, and it's just a picture of him, and he's facing the camera, and it's just a full body picture of him.
It's almost like
from 09.
It's almost like Oda had good hindsight too, because this day and age of like Twitter and all
Yeah.
that, and there's now it's gonna get into this point where
Kubo has some
this
issues with
relationship
that.
with the consumer and the creators. It's kind of getting a little blurry now, and some people are kind of taking some creators for granted. So now I'm starting to think, yeah, good call, Oda. I think you saved yourself a lot of grief.
The author of Bleach got in some huge scuffles and also illegal streams, of the manga, were coming out, and people were tweeting him about it. The author of Bleach is, "Oh, what did you do in this?" or whatever. I don't know what Bleach fans talk to Kubo about, but
I can imagine.
So I think he caught a lot of grief for that too. So I think Oda's probably done a good job to keep off of that.
Just to say that what we gave you there, that's a One Piece Film Gold button set.
Thank you. And that also came from the
thank you.
premiere.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you for
Good
the question. The last question comes from someone we are not at all familiar with. Doctor, it's been a while.
You look
though.
like you have something to
It's been a while,
say.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah. Who is the most handsy character in One Piece?
Handsy?
Handsome.
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 Who's the hottest dude in One Piece?
Who's the hottest dude?
That's just
Well, we all know Steve's answer, but we could go around the horn.
Dellinger.
Actually, I don't know. You have a lot of men.
Let's just say Dallinger. So.
I don't know. I have to think about it.
All right, I would go with Shanks. He's rugged.
I know Ed's type now.
Crocodile. Yeah, he's a fancy man. He probably
You got some confused audience members from that one.
I don't know, look at it. It probably smells like John Hamm. I mean,
Just like
No, he smells like. Oh well, yeah. John Hamm would smell like.
oh
cigarettes, I
wait,
guess.
I'm of course forgetting the obvious answer. Handsome.
Cavendish.
No, I was thinking Duval.
Oh, the other handsome. There's a lot of handsomes apparently. Wait, Duval before he got kicked, his face got kicked in, or after?
No, after.
I think pre-op.
Yeah, but no. For me, I like Crocodile a lot. I think he's a stellar.
They all have 12 packs, so it's really hard to choose. That's the standard for me.
No, Yama from Skype. Sorry, had like a 6-pack. I'm like, oh, come on, Oda. God. No, yeah. Well, I also think Dellinger's kind of a cop-out answer because he's probably the one character that looks most like a girl. So it's like I'm getting my cake and I've needed to. Bon Clay. I don't know. Shanks is pretty handsy, I gotta say.
Is this a new word that I don't know? It's like dabbing. I didn't know what dabbing was until the other day. It's doing this, like it's smelling your elbow and putting your, like it's.
Did you?
It's a dance move.
Well, did you dab?
Stop saying dab. Yeah. I always dab.
Okay. Oh, I'm a particularly big fan of Corazon. Without the makeup, he's quite handsome, and also he's just so endearing and just so good all the time, and that's rare in One Piece.
This is a good question. I'm trying to. Bryan, what about you? Yeah, Bryan. I mean, there's a lot of men in One Piece. I can't think,
so
and they all have 12 packs.
It's raining men.
It's a smorgasbord.
Yeah. Totally.
Thank you, Doc, for bringing the level of this up.
I mean,
I'm sorry. You did not. Yeah.
I could see young Whitebeard. He's a handsome dude.
Ooh,
you like the Jay Leno chin?
Yeah.
Yeah. you know, Lucci's pretty handsy too.
Caesar Clown.
Lucci's no question.
Anytime he makes a face,
just a sexy beast.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on.
Oh, be nice,
dude.
Yeah. I'm changing my answer to Lucci. Actually, yeah.
That's my answer. He's my husband.
It's husbando.
Husbandai.
Brought to you by Husbandai.
I don't think he's the hottest, but the person who I think would be the best husband would definitely be Jinbei, I feel like. I think he'd definitely be.
Sanji would cook for you. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, Sanji. I mean,
Let's
Sanji's
just
an
throw
easy.
that out the
Sanji's
window.
Tom-catting around, though.
Yeah, even if he were of the persuasion in this scenario that would work, he would be after all the other men. He would be.
Good night, everybody. That's our show.
Okay, before we go, we have here. I want to give you a face mask. Yeah.
So these little things are face masks. They're made out of latex, I think, and you put them on your face.
There you go. Just like Doctor.
And you look like a really creepy version of whatever character's on the thing.
They're not creepy at all.
So, we have 3 bigger prizes, so we want to do this the way we usually do, and that's with trivia.
Trivia questions.
So, trivia questions. So, we have 3 to give out. The 3 things we are giving out here today. The One Piece newspaper. Here, can you show us a little bit? This is very cool. It came out with the One Piece Film Gold premiere. Can you open it up and show why this is really cool? First, it has a look at Oda's workspace. A panoramic view of Oda's workspace. So we were talking about Oda's reclusiveness. And it has a character chart.
Oh my god, that's what that was.
Every character in the series, I think.
It has a character
Do
chart.
not use this to line your bird cages, please.
So, first trivia question. Who wants to give the first one?
Anyone got one?
Okay, we really prepared for this one.
Oh, jeez.
Doctor, come back here. No, you can sit.
Sit down.
Sit down.
How about maybe like do it something regarding to the panel?
I told you. I did warn you guys ahead of time, too. No, we usually do.
Why don't we?
Okay, why don't we? You want to do the traditional question we ask at every panel, Ed? You want to try it? No, you know the. Okay, dude, you want to start? Yeah, dude, you start.
Yeah, if
Ed, you and I will keep track of hands.
If you pay attention to SBSs, this is actually a pretty decent question. So before Fujitora and Ryokugyu were settled on by Oda, he had two other admirals in his head floating around, or ideas for admirals. If you can give me the name of one of those admirals.
Okay, we got one here.
Hand shot right up there.
Jeez, come up here. Come to Bryan. Let's see if you have the correct answer.
Come to Bryan.
Is it okay if I don't remember the Japanese name?
It's up to dude. It's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine, I think, because it's really hard to pronounce Rokugyu, so a lot of people call him Green Bull.
Ryokugyu. Okay, go ahead.
Pink Rabbit.
I guess, yeah.
I think that was her name.
Peach Rabbit, Momosagi, yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I think that's, I count it. I forgot it, I'm going to be honest, so that's good.
The other is Chaton, Brown Pig.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
And he looks like Kiyoshi Atsumi, Tora-san.
I forgot about Brown.
So, dude, if you would like to model the next piece, this is, what's the actual pronunciation?
The Jump Ryu.
Jump Ryu.
It's mostly just a DVD, right?
So it comes with a DVD. It comes with some exclusive artwork from Oda that you see him draw on the DVD. Note, though, that it needs a Region 2 DVD player, I think. But you could switch your region if you have a Mac, I know, so it's possible. Something like that. Back and forth, but only a certain amount of times. Anyway, it also comes with some other little cool things. An interview if you could read Japanese. Find a Japanese friend if you can't. So, next question. Steve,
I have
it?
one.
Okay.
We all know that before One Piece Chapter 1, there was like the original pitch for One Piece called Romance Dawn. My question is, how many versions of Romance Dawn are there?
Okay, come up, Sanji.
Come on up.
You gotta come up.
Sanji.
That's the one thing. Come on down.
Faster.
There are 3.
Correct.
This is where
we
it
got a
pays
DVD,
off.
the future in video.
And finally, we talked about it earlier. Color Walk 7 Tyrannosaurus. Ed with the question.
Okay, here's one. This is a question we've asked. I think at panels in the past, and it's always it's a good one. What two characters are voiced by a father and son pair?
I know this one.
One has recently passed away.
In the Japanese version.
That will be a hint. This is a hard question.
What two characters in One Piece?
Ed, I think you've stumped the audience.
You stumped the
Ed
audience.
has stumped the audience. Ed has a backup question.
We could even
No,
have
but
Oh, wait.
No. Wall Hoodie wants to give it a shot.
It's worth a shot, right? Come on down.
Beep boop ba-doo.
Okay.
I just forgot his name, but his son is Momosuke. Is it them two?
No.
Actually, there was recently another. I think there might have been another father-son duo. I don't think it was confirmed. Sam in the anime recently.
know that.
I know.
But
Can I
yeah, give
answer?
the answer.
No one else has it?
No.
All right, you want to take a guess or you have it?
Well, you got a prize, though.
You could guess it, but you're not going to get the
Yeah.
prize.
And Roger.
Yeah.
that's right. That is correct.
You got it. And I get his prize.
Yeah, just for the recording, that's Akio Otsuka who voices Blackbeard, and his father Chikao Otsuka who voiced Gold D. Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snake and
do we have another
Big
question,
Boss.
Ed, that you have, or Steve? I mean, I could. Okay. Yeah, I could think of a. I could. Oh, Sam, you have a question? Yeah, please, Sam, go. And it's Sam's question.
I'm just gonna.
All right, crappiest question you could think of.
All right. Can anyone name the announcer from Davy Backfight?
Yeah, come up.
Luffy.
If you can. Oh no, it's in the middle seat. Oh. No, it's Ace. Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
You recognize Ace?
Itomi Mizu?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Before we leave, I'll show this clip, because why not? Steve, can I hear that line reading again?
I'll give up anything to have our wish come true.
You could check out us actually recording that.
That's not the one that everybody wants to hear, though.
We need to offer him more.
Yeah. Great line read, Zach.
I have been typecast as that. You could go to youtube.com/OnePiecePodcast for more on that. Thank you all for coming to our panel. We are going to be running to One Piece Unplugged. We have another panel tomorrow. It's going to be way better than this one, Arcs of Consequence. No, it's going to be really in-depth, fun discussion. And I hope you guys enjoy the prizes. We have our Mr. 2 face mask if anyone wants it.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. My name is Zach.
My name is Ed.
My name is Steve.
And my name is Alex.
My name's Ed.
Way to go,
And
Steve.
we got Jill and Bryan and Sam. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Hey, everyone. This is our monthly Patreon segment, and with me to go through the patrons who have helped us this month, we have Ed. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Zach. These are the wonderful people who give us money.
Now, remember...
I love them.
I know Ed is a huge fan of them personally.
I like money.
Who doesn't? But your money goes to help make the podcast bigger and better, helps us do stuff like Matsuricon, which you're going to be hearing some of our episodes for in the coming week. Next week, we're going to have our first episode for Matsuricon. It also helps us with server costs. It helps us with equipment, and so on and so forth. You could help and get a lot of really cool stuff out of it at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. Now, Ed, tell us about your favorite people.
Well, to start off with this month, Oscar Eliasson, Rohan Acharya, Gentleman Bastard 12, Michael, Neil H., Straw Hat Cyclist, Andrew Bartlett, Kathleen Weidenhammer, Matthew Moore, Joseph Griffin, Drew Carmian, Darren Smith, Saad Mayer, Jordan Cox.
I'm a big fan of Michael, just Michael. It's nice and simple.
Yeah. Continuing on, we have Nohas, Chris Bachman, Caroline, Corinna Dinsmore, Francis S., Jose Rivera, Narayan, Shelly Prez, Blair Mason, Jeremy, Kate Charlante, Abdul Buta, Justin Brown, KA12, Elise, Shauna, Kane Yin, and Huntress Fan.
Ed, you continue to be the best at pronouncing names. I appreciate
I
it.
do what I can.
I mean, I guess it's really up to them.
I just assumed it was a gift that everyone had, but you've proven me wrong time and again.
Well, I have my own way of pronouncing.
You have
things.
your own gifts.
It's called the Zaccent, Ed. Look, if you guys want me to read and mispronounce your names, feel free to message us on Patreon.
I don't think anyone wants that.
You'd be surprised. I'm very popular with the people who like their names read out wrong. But thank you, Ed, for going through those. Again, you could have your name read on the podcast as we go through our Patreon segment at the beginning of each month. That's at patreon.com/OnePiecePodcast. And check us out, OnePiecePodcast.com. Why don't we get back into the show, Ed? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
And by you guys, I mean you.
Just me.
Just you.
This is the anime recap for the One Piece Heart of Gold TV movie, as well as episode 756, Start to Counterattack. Great moves by the Swirly Hat crew. I'm your host, Sam, and today with us we have the animation director for Rick and Morty, Bryan Newton. How's it going, Bryan?
Hey, Sam. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming on. It's always hard to get people on these things. And with us we have friend of the podcast, I think graphic designer, cosplayer, right? Caroline?
Yep. Hello, how are you today?
All around Sanji fan, from what I can tell.
Yes.
All right, yeah. Thank you guys for coming on. This is we are doing both a TV movie and a regular episode this week, so hopefully we can get through this decently quick. All right, so first up on our docket is the movie itself, Heart of Gold. This is a precursor, a tie-in movie to the theatrical release of One Piece film Gold. It's about the Straw Hats coming across this like 200-year-old young girl who is tied to a treasure called the Pure Gold, which is supposedly a treasure that is valuable enough to buy the whole world, as they keep saying throughout the movie. Do you have any just sort of upfront thoughts on the episode before we just sort of run through the plot real quick?
Yeah. I think this movie, or this special, was about an hour too long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially like towards the middle, where it's like it's Goonies light, but just not as engaging.
Yeah, it definitely the middle was definitely the most forgettable part of the movie for sure.
It was just outrageously long and felt like nothing was happening for majority of it. But I've heard it's actually really important for Film Gold.
Yeah, I'm really, because I doubt any of us have seen Film Gold yet, but
no,
I'm really interested in how it ties in. I was interested in how that Silver Mine filler arc would tie into that movie as well, because they definitely tease some of those characters, and there's definitely a lot of teasing about the general themes of the movie, especially about like greed and what have you.
Yeah, and well, we got a big clue to Nami's connection with that blue-haired woman in the Heart of Gold, which
Karina.
I guess is the largest tie. Yeah, Karina, largest tie into that right now.
Yeah, I guess that's what people were, when they were saying that it's going to help you like the movie more or be more engaged with the film. It's probably that stuff.
Yeah.
All right. But as Heart of Gold stands, it's kind of like, in some ways, it's an interesting special, but it's typical of One Piece filler, quote unquote filler goes. It's just like half-baked ideas that don't really need to be like. We don't really need these type of adventures, and it's just like everything we've done in Dressrosa, or I guess Dressrosa is the best example because it's recent.
These TV movies are this definite sort of weird halfway point between the TV show and the actual theatrical films. Like in that they're usually not as pretty as the actual movies, and they're definitely not as interesting story-wise as the manga, or as most stuff. I mean, I'd say they're a step above most filler arcs of One Piece.
Most of them.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like the episode of series is really great, but the non-episode ones are
I don't know.
kind
Actually, I kind of have some problems with like I'm not crazy about like episode of Nami and episode of Mary, just because I don't like the animation style in general. But I don't know. Okay. Anyway, this special begins with a young girl, or a seemingly young girl, who's being escorted by the world government, specifically Aegis Zero, who's a very important presence in this franchise as a whole, obviously. And right up front, we notice that this little girl is actually voiced by a real girl. Like, there's always that very distinct vibe you get when a kid is playing a character in an animated movie like this.
I could not tell. She actually sounded pretty mature.
Yeah, I had no idea.
She was a great voice actress, and I could tell that it was a kid because I just think there's a very distinct feel to that. But I think I don't know. Just like I think this character is actually super interesting. The more that I think about it, like we don't get characters like this in One Piece that often. Just like there aren't that many like little kids who are like important characters in the series in general, let alone little kids who aren't annoying.
Yeah, I back that up because I do like her personality a lot.
Yeah,
I think
she's got a lot of personality. She's not that annoying, but she's also very expressive.
Her quirk
especially her mouth.
Yeah, her quirk of speaking what she was thinking got to be a little bit annoying, but I'm glad they kind of drop it halfway through the movie.
Right. I think I find her eyes the most annoying thing about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't fit the style of the show at all.
Yeah,
They're really
distracting.
I like that
Agreed.
though. Like I don't know, she doesn't really fit in the general vibe of the One Piece world. But that's kind of what I found cool about it. Anyway, the sort of story continues as their ship is attacked by a group of pirates led by Mad Treasure. I noticed that the bow and arrow woman is firing Diana stones from Film Z, the big explosive things.
I want to know where they got those.
Yeah, I don't know. And also,
well, even Mad Treasure said he had a government contact. So
yeah.
Well, I assumed that was Tetsuro.
Yeah, maybe he got him.
Yeah, and this crew they're sort of in the same position that Bill was his name Bill from the Silvermine arc. Bill from the
kind of.
Bill from the Silvermine arc, who is sort of sort of an underling of Guild Tesoro, and using that Mr. Tanaka, the really big-headed man, as sort of a confidant between the two groups. This crew is led by Mad Treasure, who's like this chain-wielding guy. They've got a graffiti man named Psycho P, who's kind of a racist caricature.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And then obviously Naomi, whose shirt looks like it says Nami, but it's just missing the O, and it's very distracting.
It has the O, but her big end necklace covers it up like 90% of the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. It should have been an O necklace.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been a cool design idea. Long story short, the girl, whose name is Olga, escapes from both the world government and this pirate crew chasing after her, and she sort of is riding this lizard across the water and ends up upon the Thousand Sunny and the Straw Hats. It's sort of this wintry setting where there's snow lightly falling and everyone's fishing and doing their normal Straw Hat thing. Olga does not take these people super seriously. She thinks Luffy specifically looks like an idiot, but it just sort of
he is.
Yeah, I'll say she's right, but
it just sort of goes on. But like as these scenes sort of continue, she starts to think that she can use these people. Her sort of mantra throughout the whole movie is that people are good as long as she can take advantage of them, and that's what she sees the Straw Hats are, and she thinks.
And I understand that motivation, but I don't get why she has that motivation based on everything we'll discover with her character.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I'm sort of blanking on as far as what we learn in the middle. But this is when. So one of the interesting things about this movie, this is a case where the women have that like humongous boobs, tiny waist thing going on, like it's a little more exaggerated than normal. It's not as bad as, because there's a few episodes before where there's that one director who like just always draws women with huge boobs and like extra skinny waists, and it looks really bad there. Here it looks a little more like artistically stylized, so it doesn't bother me as much. But it does bother me when like they're wearing like big thick winter coats, and there's like their form is still like completely kept.
Yeah, it's a little bit better later on, but on the ship it seems to be the worst.
Yeah, and this is when they all sort of switch into their adventure outfits and are getting ready to help Olga out finding this pure gold treasure.
My favorite thing about these adventure outfits, though, is they go from winter coats to wearing like shorts and bikini tops.
Right. Well, I mean, they're about to go into a giant fish's stomach, so that's.
Oh, they don't know that at the time.
They don't know that.
Right. But yeah, long story short, again, they end up in the stomach of this giant angler fish named Bonbori-san, and Mad Treasure sort of follows them in and actually captures the crew. And now, so we've gone from the winter outfits, the adventure outfits, so now to Mad Treasure's like weird genie girl, slave girl outfits for the girls, and then just generic coats for the guys.
That's just dick. It's just a dick move.
It doesn't even really make sense. It's like why bother changing their clothes? Like they change the whole crew's clothes, don't they?
Yeah,
yes.
They're wearing like workers' clothes.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't.
they're all chained up too, and it's like the girls have ornate colors on, and the boys just have generic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's really disconcerting about this isn't like the costume changing. That's just his weird dickish quirk. But the fact the devil fruit users aren't even restrained with a sea prism.
Yeah, like why can't Robin do something about this?
Were they not
Yeah,
sea prism
easily.
chains? Oh, I guess they're
No, they
treasure
weren't.
She
chains,
uses
right?
her powers later.
Yeah.
Her and Chopper both use their powers. It makes no sense.
So yeah, and then this is when we actually get a hint that we actually learned that Nami has actually met Mad Treasure before, and this is when we were talking about Karina earlier, when Nami was I guess a thief partner with this woman named Karina back in the East Blue, and they had met.
They were rivals.
They're rivals. That's right. They were thief rivals back in the East Blue, and this is when Nami had met Mad Treasure before. It's not something they really extrapolate on, although I guess it goes into much further detail in Film Gold itself. Luffy is sort of he's gotten isolated from the rest of the crew, so he's getting into all these hijinks with dinosaurs and ends up meeting a man who lives inside of this fish's stomach who has been pretending to be a dinosaur this whole time. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is when Luffy just barely escapes being fed to all these baby dinosaurs. His response is like, "Oh man, I almost got eaten. Oh, that was close." And then he looks at the dinosaurs. It's like, "Oh man, they look tasty." So I guess he wouldn't blame the dinosaurs for finding him tasty, I guess.
Perhaps not.
Yeah.
I also love how he has like one leg out of that chain that he's caught up in. He's just hopping around on one leg.
So he ends up sort of befriending this man who's been living inside this fish for all these years, I guess hundreds of years now. And they come across Psycho P's fake straw hats. He's used his camouflage devil fruit powers to make some of his henchmen look like caricatures of the straw hats, which Luffy cannot tell, as we learned in the Return to Sabati arc, that he couldn't tell the difference between the real straw hats and the fake ones.
This is very reminiscent of Joria's power from
Giola.
Doflamingo
Yeah,
script.
it's the
Giola. Yeah,
sort of
love
But
her.
it really bothered me because
Picasso style.
Earlier he sensed like the boat that was coming to attack them, but he couldn't sense all these people that are obviously not his friends. It was weird.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities in this movie.
Oh yeah.
TV special.
All right, so they Mad Treasure and his kidnappees arrive on this island that exists within the fish, and it's on this island where pure gold is supposedly located in the laboratory where Olga's dad used to work and whatnot. Then there's all these sort of trials that they go through in order to get further and further through this island, and there's a piano, and Brooke needs to play this song perfectly, and he needs to go along with this lullaby that Olga used to know from her childhood. Luffy meets the real Zoro and Sanji again, and he's like, well, they might be fake, so I'm just going to hit them to make sure. And then another one of the trials is, this alligator mouth, and they need to put the key in the right keyhole, and Olga helps him out, and it's just a bunch of stuff. And so they eventually get down into the lab. They learn that the pure gold is actually about extending a person's life, and it's about sort of halting this disease that Olga has and was dying of. And Olga spent this whole movie sure that her dad was this asshole, and she begrudged him for all this stuff. But now she's learning that, oh no, it was all about keeping her from dying from this disease.
You forgot to mention that the weird man who pretended to be a dinosaur this whole time was Olga's father.
Yeah.
They
I
kind of
sure
dropped that immediately.
I mean, I figured that out pretty quickly. I wasn't sure when
it
got
obvious.
I couldn't remember when they revealed it in the actual movie itself.
It was almost immediately when Luffy meets the guy. Because
Yeah,
Luffy says, I was hanging out with this girl, Olga. Oh, that's my daughter.
They do this weird foreshadowing and then show it about 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Olga's dad starts to self-destruct the island. Everything in the fish just sort of goes crazy, and it actually looks super cool because this island already looked like it was in the middle of the ocean at night in this crazy, fancy space-looking scene.
There's some really inventive backgrounds, even though the fish had 3 stomachs, and each stomach kind of had its own island, which was interesting.
Yeah,
and then everything goes all like crazy and gold for like this big final battle that happens, and the backgrounds look awesome, and then they start playing some like really really cool music, and then the fights sort of start going out. They're about what you expect. Luffy fights Mad Treasure, Zoro's fighting the Arrow Woman, Sanji's fighting Psycho P. It's actually like crazy reminiscent of the final fights in Film Z. Like you can tell that they're structuring it basically exactly the same.
I was also thinking of Strong World.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fight that Zoro has with Dr. Indigo and Sanji.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they end pretty similarly to those Strong World fights.
Yeah, I guess something in like Luffy versus Mad Treasure specifically feels very, very much modeled after Luffy versus Zed.
Oh, for sure.
Like there's almost identical shots and stuff.
Even the way like Luffy's shirt just comes off or his vest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he throws it off in the first 2 seconds of the fight.
Exactly. Luffy wins using his elephant gun. They eventually escape the fish, and we learn that the angle on the anglerfish, because the fish just likes eating pure gold so much and is digested so much of it, the gold has sort of built up into the lure at the end of the anglerfish's angler. And so it's just basically this giant piece of pure gold, which could be used for evil and all that, but obviously the Straw Hats have beaten the bad guys. And so they arrive to the surface. They're basically saying their goodbyes. Chopper asks them what the disease that she's dying of was, and Olgo's father, who's basically been away from society for 200 years, he says that it's South Blue Emperor fever, and Chopper's like, wow, I just happen to have the cure for this in this syringe ready to go. Basically, in the 200 years since, a cure for this disease has been found, and so Chopper is able to basically cure Olga of it, and then they sort of say goodbye. Olga and her dad are watching the Straw Hats sail away, and they're just sort of having this moment of, Olga says like, "Yeah, I'm happy as long as I'm with my daughter," and she just has this response of like, I may be your daughter, but I am a 206-year-old woman. And that's how that's how the movie ends, basically. General thoughts that haven't been shared yet, you guys?
The animation was decent throughout, despite some of the weird proportions. It actually wasn't bad. There was a lot of good close-up shots right before attacks went off, type of thing. Like some really nice faces.
Yeah, this is the strongest part for me. I really like the art style in this movie. Like, I always wished that the TV show had a more defined style like this, with like a little bit thicker outlines. And the colors look a lot more appealing to me than we often like, because in the show they're always so soft these days, and I like them nice and bold like they are in this movie.
Yeah, the color work specifically on the backgrounds is really well done. But I actually really like the animation, specifically on some of the fights. It was sporadic, but it was at least consistent. There were only like maybe a few moments of like really shoddy animation and some shoddy direction.
It was super consistent. The fights, I mean, obviously the fights aren't Film Z level or anything, but
no, but they're serviceable. They get the job done.
Yeah, they're better than what we see in the show most of the time.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, I think my main criticism of it is, like we said, the arc's a little long. Oh, and I do like the designs of many of the characters. The fact that this is kind of a quote-unquote urban crew.
Yeah.
I enjoy part of that. But as always with like filler / like non-Oda designed characters, there's always like one design element always missing to really give it that One Piece charm. Like Mad Treasure, for example. He's just a cool-looking dude. Like there's really weird elements. Right. Yeah, she doesn't like cool-looking dudes. But it's just something like making like a treasure chest for like shoulder pads, or giving him like a padlock for like his goatee would be something Oda would do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just a tiny little thing like that. Because even like the coolest One Piece villains always have something that make them not so cool. So.
Yeah, they always gotta have that trick to them that makes them a little. Goofy.
Like in there's like lobes, or Rob Lucci has a pigeon.
Yeah, or like his final form felt very off to me.
Oh yeah, I forgot to
How
mention
he
that.
just turned himself completely chained, and it was just, it felt weird, especially his hair turning into chains.
I like that. That was cool. I don't know.
It was just weird.
If anything, just if I'm definitely going to pull it back to the racial angle, it kind of reminds me of like really old, like 1920s, like black caricatures where like they have like curly nappy hair, and it's like always like the baby gets exploded and their hair like frizzes up. That's what it kind of looked like with the chains. But also in reference to the animation, I will give them tremendous credit because animating chains and just drawing chains, the pain in the ass. Complete pain in the ass.
All the times he attacked were really cool.
Yeah. So I bet it was just one person's job just to draw those chains.
It's like, okay, you can do chains, you're doing all the chains. Yeah, I mean, aside from animation, I actually, like, I think a lot of people are kind of down on this TV special. I thought it was mostly pretty good. Like, I like Olga a lot. Like, I really think she's fun to watch in general. I think she's so expressive and interesting. And it makes me very, very curious about what the deeper thematic point of Film Gold is going to be, because I think that was one of Film Z's strongest points, is that it really had something interesting to say about the world of One Piece. So I'm curious to see if they keep that up with Film Gold, especially since they do have a clear theme in like greed and gold and all that.
Sure. And although like Olga's a very great character because I kind of like she's like a piece of shit little kid.
Mm-hmm.
But when you find out she's 200 years, you're like, oh, okay, that's explains some of that.
That's such an anime thing, is that little kid who's secretly like hundreds of years old.
Right. Cowboy Bebop did it very well. But
that was a great episode.
Yeah, it was really good. But I think the story itself kind of suffers from some convolution.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it being 2 hours long is completely unnecessary. And like just some unbelievable kind of things, like Olga and her father were on the same island and hadn't run across each other in 200 years. It would have been better if like the father was on the second stomach and they just would have never crossed, because she's not going to go deeper into a fish.
Yeah, because I felt that weird, and also the fact that he was still alive.
I knew he was going to be alive.
Yeah, but it's just like the fact that he's also 200 years old. I was like, how are you staying alive? Is it because of the lantern from the fish keeping him alive? It was just weird, considering she did this so long.
And something I noticed, I rewatched it a second time just for this review, but I noticed how like his clothing degenerated over time, which makes sense because they're like trapped on an island, but hers didn't.
Well, was he ever like getting touched by the stomach acid and stuff?
It wouldn't matter. Just after 200 years, clothing breaks down.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty good for Heart of Gold. Ready to move on to the episode 500? No, not 500. We're way past 500. 756?
Yeah, sure.
Just running down the staff credits real quick. Screenplay this week is by Shoji Yonemura. Episode director is Satoshi Ito. And animation director is Kenji Yokoyama. The title card begins at 4 minutes and 22 seconds, and the name of the episode is Start to Counterattack, Great Moves by the Swirly Hat Crew. The episode begins with us returning to the adventures of the samurai. Nekozaimon has survived the sort of sidewash that came off of the elephant, but now it looks like this big horrifying monster. I love this so much.
Survive is a really strong word.
Was this filler? Because this is filler, right?
Yeah, that's filler.
I was amazed. I was like, wow, you guys, you're actually like getting creative with how you're doing filler. You're actually like coming up with stuff that's like cool and funny.
Yeah, I think in the original it was just like a faraway shot of them having fallen down.
Yeah.
And then you get this. It was great.
Coming back to the party, we see like a drunk old monkey man giving Zoro monkey wine. And Zoro does not seem to love all the physical mintimacy, as Stephen called it in the Viz version. That
we basically find out Zoro's not an animal person.
Yeah, the animals they all want to cuddle with him, and he doesn't want to cuddle back, and it's just it's heartbreaking. I feel bad for the minks, but Frankie's into it. He's telling them, "You can rub me as much as you like."
Love Frankie.
Yeah. Carrot explains to Usopp that minks don't eat animals with fur, so that means like stuff like fish and hippos are totally fair game. So does that mean there aren't any like hippo minks at all?
I guess not, but aren't like hippos mammals?
Yeah. So
Yes, they are.
So
they're just not hairy enough to be cute, I guess.
I guess not.
Yeah, that's a really subjective logic they got going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is when Brooke rolls into the room. This is the first time, our first time seeing him since the Luffy's group arrived on Zoe. He arrives and he's happy to see everyone. As you imagine, they're all saying their hellos and crying and being happy. Brooke warns the group not to talk about the samurai since it might actually offend some of the minks, because that's sort of a touchy subject for some unexplained reason as of right now. This is a thing that it's because we know what happens in the manga, but it's sort of a hard thing to parse looking back, because it's like, why is there such a communication error going on?
Well, this was the first reveal of potentially what happened to Zoe before the rest of the Straw Hats arrived.
Yeah.
Just a lot of this early Zoe stuff is all about this weird bait and switch with the drama, like when Wanda tells them about the corpse of your friend, and then later we find out, oh no, they're just talking about Brooke.
Yeah. Oh, and on that note, the way they did the dog reveal scene in this episode was really well done. I mean,
the dogs come in.
It was like a horror movie.
Yeah, they're super scary. You're like, oh no, what did Brooke do to these guys? And then obviously they're just
they were going after all his bones. They were going after all his bones, including the one in his pants.
Yeah, I did not expect that shot.
They just bite his crotch. Well, like in any comedy, when a dog attacks a person, they gotta bite him in the crotch.
Of course.
I love how Wanda's
that's true.
I love how Wanda's just hand to cheek, oh, dogs, we just love bones.
I can't wait to also what's his face? His performance as Brooke. Mr. Cho, his performance as Brooke, and it was so good in this. I can't wait to hear the dub version as well.
I'm mostly excited for the song that's going to come up.
Oh yeah,
the Nekomamushi.
Yeah.
So the crew, they start to talk about Sanji. Apparently, they've had some sort of conversation in between this episode and the last one, because we're still completely in the dark as to what's up with Sanji. We know that he's gone, and we know that he's left a note of some kind. We don't know what the note says yet, but the crew does. We flash back to what was happening when the Sanji's half of the crew first split up from the crew in Dressrosa, when they were attacked by Big Mom's ship, who is after Caesar. And Beige, is that how you say it? Beige Capone? Beige Capone? Beige Capone.
Yeah, Beige.
He's there.
I always say
he's with the Big Mom pirates, and they're after Caesar, who apparently has taken some funds from Big Mom for science experiments and didn't really go all the way with that money. So we're calling them now the Twirly Hat crew are deciding they've got to run away, but they've also got to fight back, because the Big Mom, they're just not going to let up. And so we get reminded of that cool scene where Sanji's talking to Luffy over the transponder sale. He's like, "Captain, do we have permission to attack Big Mom's ship?" And of course Luffy's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." And so they start their counterattack, where they do this big. I can't remember how much of this was in the manga. Is this another filler sequence?
No, this is all in the manga.
Okay, so this is all in the manga, where they do this big team up attack, where they basically wrap Caesar up in cannonballs and use a variation of Chopper and Sanji's skywalk to toss him in the air.
Yeah, what's always crazy about this show is the fact that they have cannons on the ship, but they never use them. They always prefer to just send the enemy's cannons right back at them, just like at the end of Ines Lobby.
Yeah, it's they completely forgot about it, and then they were like, "Oh, we only have the gown cannon."
Yeah, so they're using Caesar's gas to ignite these cannonballs, I guess, and send them right back at Big Mom's ship. And they actually do a pretty good job at getting a huge dent in Big Mom's ship, which is not a small feat for fighting against one of the four emperors. They are making their escape. Nami does her weather tempo thing to create fog so they can hide and get away.
Can I just say how great it was to hear the ship singing?
Yeah.
I love Big Mom's ship.
I love it.
It might be my favorite ship in the series.
His voice was a bit different than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this whole sequence looks pretty good. I am always like super happy when they animate Sanji's skywalk well, because I remember when like they first introduced that in the anime, they really kind of miffed the animation. But
Yeah, because I know what you mean, Sam. Because it's this like hopping through the sky. Sometimes they just have him like stepping or like walking.
yeah, exactly.
There, and like that's not correct.
Yeah, you need to get the hopping. You need to get that sense of like speed and height and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get away. This is when I'm just sort of looking through my notes here. We cut back to the present, and everyone's super impressed by this story. Everyone's like applauding and cheering, and Nami and Chopper are like, thanks you guys. And Chopper's doing what Steve was telling me about this. Is it called motion tweening? Or like,
yes,
Chopper's just like it's just like a single like drawing of Chopper, but it's just like sliding back and forth across the screen. It actually looks really funny.
It's a technique you can use. Like there were old school techniques to do animation style like that, but now it's even easier digitally. You just do the drawing, you kind of like move it digitally back and forth.
Yeah, it looked really funny here. I thought it was a fun choice in that situation. Sometimes when they do that, it looks really cheap, but this is like just a fun little comedy bit, so it looks fine.
Well, it's a cheap technique, no question about it.
Well, I remember from a few episodes ago, they did that with like the scene, because they were reanimating all the old scenes with the Straw Hats joining the crew and stuff like that, and like Nami jumping off of her island to join the ship after the Arlong arc. Like it looks so bad there because it's supposed to be like this really beautiful dramatic scene.
Yeah, and when they were having the elephant's legs move, that looked kind of like a tween. How it just kind of shot across the screen.
For sure, because the way they do Zonisha is that they're paintings that they're essentially moving, so they do the paintings on separate like planes, so they would have to maintain that like level of detail and quality.
So a sloth pops his head into the room, hanging upside down over the doorframe. The sloth has news that the Duke Dogstorm has woken up, and Wandu looks just like crazy relieved. Like her face is actually really, really evocative here, where you can tell like something like a real pain has been lifted off her chest. Nami is happy for her because she clearly understands what that means. And Chopper is like, okay, I gotta go treat him and do my doctor thing. And so he's telling Dr. Miyagi, the Goat Man, and a squirrel woman, Tristan, who's the first mink we saw on Zoe when way many episodes ago.
Quick note on the sloth. Is it not in the Japanese culture to make sloths super slow? Because I was expecting that joke.
Yeah, me too.
I guess not. And I remember this chapter in the manga came out not long after all the Zootopia trailers were coming out, so it just seemed like weird timing. But yeah, this is not a slow sloth. This is just a normal speed sloth. And the episode ends with Wanda having to explain that this country of theirs actually has two rulers. They have Duke Dogstorm, who is in charge of the day, and the Cat Viper, who's in charge during the night. And so the crew is being invited to meet this Dogstorm for the first time, and this is when the episode ends off. General thoughts, you guys?
It wasn't as pretty as the last two.
Agreed.
Like, the animation wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the last two had been, or three or so. However long we've been on Zoe.
Yeah, it's also a bit slower of an episode. Like I felt like last week's episode felt so packed with stuff, but this week I think this is less than a chapter's worth of content in here.
Less than a chapter?
I
have to reread that chapter. Yeah, because I remember the chapter going by pretty quickly for this too.
Yeah, I expected them honestly to spend more time on the whole counterattack thing.
Yeah.
Instead of just keeping it straight to the manga.
Yeah. I thought this was a solid episode. Like the first three episodes of Zoe, like were all like awesome episodes. Like they're all like A's. Like I gave them all like A's on ANN. And then like I knew that they couldn't just like all be amazing constantly. And now here's just a decent one, and I think that's perfectly fine. The animation is it works. It all works. It's a bit slower than normal because they have to sort of pad some of it out. There's just a lot of like sitting and talking.
I think the humor, especially some of the humor they added, considering with everything with Kinemon and
Mhm.
I can't remember his name. The other the drawing style.
Conjuro, yeah.
Conjuro, thank you. All that humor that they've added was completely on point and
Yeah,
great,
I love
and all the
that.
stuff.
I thought the
dogs is cool.
Nekozaimon stuff was perfect. Like that's exactly the kind of filler stuff I want Toei doing like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the wet Nekozaimon, how obviously freaky and terrifying he looked, but still had that ugly cute underneath everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Really
so
good.
It's so good.
So cute.
I think that covers it for the most part. Any last thoughts, you guys?
No.
Not about this one. Next episode looks really good, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jack's back.
Can't wait to see him in
really
color.
excited to see how they do that. So yeah, thank you
I
guys.
can't wait to see those eye jokes.
Yeah. Again, thank you guys for coming. I think this should wrap us up for the week, and we should either, I don't know how Zach's going to edit this podcast in the end, so either we can move on to the next segment, or we can end the show. So thank you guys again. See you some other day.
Bye.
Bye.
そう忘れないよどんな時も
This has been episode 435 of the One Piece podcast, and joining me for this outro, I have Steven. Hey, Steven. How's it been going? How's your week off?
My week off has been fine. It's full of One Piece as usual. In the the week when the actual chapter is off, I'm working on the next one. So
you never really had a week off.
I had technically. I mean, I
maybe
was on
last week.
Yeah. I was on the podcast last week, right? So
yeah. So I thought I'd bring you in since you weren't on any of this episode and had no idea what anything that happened, and I thought you'd be the perfect person to come on to talk about what did happen. We got our panel from Matsuricon. The audio not perfect, but I think pretty damn good. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we also have Sam helped us review Heart of Gold with Bryan and a whole cast of characters, and an anime recap for 756. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. And I want to have you on here, Steven, to get your raw reactions. You've heard these before, I'm sure, but we'll pretend you never have. For our guest appearances over the next 2 months.
Okay.
So
Lame on me.
pretend you've never heard them before. So yeah, today we had our Matsuricon panel, and we had Roger's Base on last week, but next week we have Crunchyroll's Miles Thomas.
Famed any Twitter shit poster, Miles Thomas.
He's a shit poster? I had no idea. We have a podcaster and also any Twitter, I don't know what you call them, Big Shot, Minovsky, also known as Casey, because that's his real name. So he'll be on as well, and this has been 10 months in the making.
And that is the week after.
That's the week after. That's on September 26th.
That'll be very exciting. I'm eager to do that episode.
Me too. Thank you, Stephen. Your enthusiasm is just sorry. On October 3rd, we have Crunchyroll's Nate Ming. He edits a lot of I believe it's the editorials and features and reviews for Crunchyroll. On October 10th, we're going to see the Shonen Jump guys at New York Comic Con. Right now, I believe that'll be your editor, Alexi, John Bay, and of course the infamous Urian Brown.
Infamous, yes. Try to get a word in edgewise if you can.
We won't. It's fine. That's why we have guests on, so we could take a break.
Right.
October 17th is super exciting. We have wrestler ACH on, and we're the two perfect people to talk about.
Oh boy.
But that's super exciting.
I'm sure that there are people that are just flipping out about that.
Yeah.
Both on the podcast and off the podcast.
Oh, you didn't see Twitter. Yeah. It was real flipping out. On October 24th, we have Funimation's Godswill Ugwa. He does a lot of the social media stuff for Funimation, so he's going to be on. I don't expect, well, maybe, but probably don't expect any big news on that episode. We're also hoping to have the One Piece brand managers at Funimation on sometime in early October. There's no specific dates,
cool.
so I can't say for sure if that's going
And
to happen. But
that is someone new at this point, right? I believe Josh
Yes.
has moved on to newer
it's
things.
John and Chris are dealing with it, so we'll hopefully have them on soon. We've been trying to get them on. Yeah, Josh just got a big new job, I think, at HP.
Yeah, he's around my neck of the woods now.
Watch out.
But yeah, we gotta maintain these relationships here with our our One Piece comrades.
Well, there was the big news that broke, I think, right after we did the podcast last week about Funimation and Crunchyroll's partnership, which we'll talk a little bit more about next week. But that's very exciting as well. So that's what's going to happen over the next few weeks. It's going to be nuts. If there is a manga break, we're going to throw a Matsuricon panel in, so it may bump the schedule in one way or the other, so keep an eye out. Or we might just do both. We'll see. So that's about it that I want to go through. So thank you all for listening. You could let's see if I could do what Ed normally does. You could contact us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, other things at One Piece Podcast, onepiecepodcast.tumblr.com, soundcloud.com/One Piece Podcast. You could please follow us there on Google Play. You could also listen to episodes at the day after they air on YouTube. I know I mentioned that already, but it's important. It's good. You could subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes. There are other places. Patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. We've had a lot of new people joining that. We have an exclusive episode that came out last week where we talked about the end of One Piece, what's going to happen, how are we going to deal with it, what kind of mental breakdown are we going to go through. Not all of that.
It got dark. No, it wasn't that bad.
It got extremely dark. So you can listen to all that on patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. We'll also have bloopers, outtakes, and more on there. But you could also call us at our phone number, and that phone number is 347-497-MAJI. Not even trying, Steven. The phone number again is 347-497-6254. Call anytime with your questions, comments, and theories. We'll have the whole crew back with us next week, along with Miles Thomas. I'm excited. I'm not quite ready,
good.
But
we're gonna have some fun.
Yes, it's gonna be fun.
I'll promise you that.
So, Steven,
spoiler alert.
Thank you for sticking around for this whole episode, Steven. My name is Zach, and we'll see you next week, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.